Joe Biden, live, on camera, farted. We have documented the evidence, and this is the most important story you will ever hear, ever.
Yeah.
And it must be documented.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm actually kidding, but the reason why I wanted to start the show off with this is because, to be honest, it really does unite everybody. And we were looking at we got a bunch of stories that are very divisive, right? John Boyega's trending. We've got Sarah Silverman has this viral tweet. We've got protests and riots. And I'm thinking about this news, and I'm like, man, this is going to make everybody angry.
Yeah.
You know? And then we thought about it. And
We had enough of that yesterday.
Adam brought it up. Or was it you who brought it up? The great uniter?
Oh, yeah, it was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Swalwell.
Fartgate.
Yeah.
Fartgate was Eric Swalwell. He's a Democrat from California, and he let one rip.
It was not.
Dude.
not
I can't believe I missed
mistakable.
it.
Yeah,
you
They
really
played
missed
it
out,
for me,
dude.
and I couldn't stop laughing.
but I have
I
good,
needed to hear that yesterday.
Right.
I
it
have
would've
good
been
news.
nice.
BuzzFeed is on the case.
Yes.
They not only investigated the fart of Eric Swalwell, but also Joe Biden himself. And so, admittedly, we're going to start off with Fartgate Redux to be fun and funny because, admittedly, the riots, the stuff that's going on in Minnesota, the angry tweets from everybody, John Boyega's like trending right now because he said some stuff about racism. I'm like, oh, man, everybody's always fighting, you know?
Yep.
Like, at least we can all come together for now and be like, Joe Biden farted.
Joe Biden farted.
He's an old
he
man.
did.
He finally did something we can laugh about. Wait a minute.
We
I don't
laugh
know if
about-
that's good. We do laugh about him all the time.
Poor old man, you know.
He
it's
really
like,
is a poor
oh,
old man.
dude. And he like very much like the Eric Swalwell thing. He like fidgets when he makes the sound, and then the other guy who's on the stream with him like makes us look like, uh-oh. I feel bad. It's Tom Wolfe. I feel bad for him because now people are going to accuse him of farting. They're going to be like, it was you. And
I
then-
don't know. He was genuinely shocked. He's like, did I just hear
But
that fart?
But could you imagine being falsely
Because it was
accused of
gross,
farting?
too.
What if we started the stream?
Sloppy.
I farted, and then I went, Adam, did you just fart? And you'd be like, no, it wasn't me. I'm like, Adam, it was you.
Whoa. Let me just say. All right, let me stop you. I will always admit when I fart.
Okay, that's fair.
I have
takes
no
a-
problems
It takes a real man.
saying that was me.
And you know what I don't get? Why it's so obvious Eric Swalwell farted on camera, dude. You can see him jump up and then like flinch.
Oh, yeah.
Like, "Ugh."
He stopped talking.
Yeah.
He's
I
like,
know.
ba 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 ba.
And they claimed
Ba,
it was,
ba,
it
ba,
was like a
ba.
mug. Okay, I don't want to get too into it because we're gonna talk about this. But the
Oh my
real
gosh.
story here with Joe Biden, Tulsi Gabbard has dropped her lawsuit against Hillary Clinton, and
Yeah,
then said
what's
it's
up with
because she
that?
wants to focus on defeating Trump. Okay, hold on a minute, Tulsi. What are you doing to defeat Trump that involves you not suing Hillary Clinton? I'm confused.
Actually, I just thought of something. What if Biden's talking to Tulsi about being the VP?
No way.
I
They
mean,
hate her guts.
I know, but like maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
That would be cool.
sounds-
I don't think that's the case.
Right. It
I
sounds-
think they're gonna try to replace Biden with Hillary.
Maybe. I mean, Tulsi's not running for re-election in Congress.
Mm.
She's out of the presidential race. So why is dropping the suit against Hillary relevant at all?
So Hillary
Yeah,
can
good
run?
point.
So Hillary can run.
That's my 2 cents.
Yep. So Hillary can run.
Yep, that's
Because
what I think.
So one thing that I've been bringing up is that by doing this shield technique with Joe Biden,
Mm-hmm.
it prevents a smear campaign from running against whoever the nominee actually ends up being.
Exactly.
So normally, they're going after Trump like crazy. The ads are popping up. They're accusing each other. And then Joe Biden vanishes one day.
Yep.
And then in comes Hillary, who's got nothing but all this positive press and you know, look, people hate her guts, but she dodges scandals, email, whatever, investigations, and then pops at the last minute. We'll get to that. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Yeah, I guess we'll talk about
Welcome
it
to the show.
during the actual segment.
This is TimcastIRL. My name is Tim Pool, and we are hanging out tonight.
What's up, everybody?
There we go.
It's
Good
me,
timing.
Adam Krigler.
The
How you
best
doing?
timing, frankly.
What up?
Yep. Oh, wait, it's me, Lydia, with the great timing.
Sour Patch Lids.
Yep.
And yeah, those are the stories. We do want to talk about SpaceX because we were eagerly awaiting.
I know.
Was it the
stoked?
first?
I've actually seen rocket launches before, so I was excited to see a brand new rocket go. I mean,
like
obviously it's
futuristic?
not the rocket isn't new, but it's the first time that they had astronauts in it.
You know what, man?
So
I was thinking about this earlier. I think Elon Musk may be the most important human being alive right now.
wow,
Awesome.
Not even
Really?
kidding.
that's a bold statement.
Because he's trying to get us to Mars. That's it. I'm thinking about what are humans doing other than fighting with each other, reproducing, and eating hot dogs.
that's a
You know
good
what I mean?
point.
Yep.
And Elon Musk is building rockets to Mars.
Yep.
If
That's true. That's cool.
If humans are going to do anything,
Mhm.
getting off this planet, expanding and colonizing, and you know, who was it Elon? But somebody else was saying if we don't colonize other planets, we're doomed. Like we'll go extinct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's who's doing it? Elon Musk. for all his faults. You can make fun of him all day and night for so much.
Yep.
But building a rocket to Mars. And I think we also have that NASA doing Artemis too, right?
Yeah.
Like the Artemis project.
The moon. Yeah.
Which is the moon base to
Moon
relay
bases,
to
yeah.
Mars.
Yeah, but
So-
it's like, think about it though. If we get Chicxulub 2 coming towards us, it's like, if we can't stop it and we're on another planet, at least we have existed somewhere else that we can repair.
Right.
Could you imagine?
For those who don't know what Chicxulub is, that is the name of the asteroid that killed all the dinosaurs.
Now I want you all listening to imagine this. You're standing on Mars in the new Martian colony.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden
You
you
see a
hear
bright
you
flash.
hear klaxons.
Yeah.
And you're like, what's happening? What's happening? And they go, look, and they point up at the sky. You can see it.
The little blue dot.
Gone. Well, you would. I think you would see.
I think Earth's not that.
It's far enough.
Small. Yeah, it probably
yeah,
is.
you wouldn't be
Small.
able. You wouldn't be able to see anything.
No, no.
But like they look on the screen and then they see Earth and then it's like rips right through it.
And just.
And that's it.
Just
You-
snow, white snow. The screens all go.
You and the
static.
20 other people on the Martian colony are like.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not only are you the last that's left.
Well,
you're the-
there'd be the moon base too. Well, if the moon's still.
The moon would like. Where would the moon go?
I don't know.
if the
it's
Earth, like,
already
blew
leaving.
up, you know
well,
what I mean? Like-
I don't think the Earth would blow up.
A
'Cause
new moon.
A new moon would appear.
Yeah, like how the moon.
No,
formed
no,
in-
no.
I think the
Chicxulub
Earth,
was only like a mile and a half long.
no, it's 4.
Oh, 4 miles.
Oh no, it was 4
4
kilometers.
kilometers.
Four,
Yeah,
oh,
whatever
4
that is.
kilometers.
So it's like-
okay.
it's like
like
1.8
2.5
maybe.
miles or something.
Yeah.
2 miles. I don't
Is
know.
it? No,
I
think
don't
it's
know.
less.
I'm just rough.
But imagine
Rough
you're
math.
watching from a Martian base and then Earth gets smacked by like a 7-mile wide meteor or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
and then it just wipes out all life on the planet. And you're like, not only are you the last humans, you're the last life.
True.
As we know it.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Well, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about
That's our last segment that we're
But
going
the first thing we got to talk about is Joe Biden
Yes.
farting.
Can we
Back to
can we
Earth.
play the clip for people who haven't heard it?
We're gonna play the clip.
Oh
Ooh,
my
let's do
goodness.
it. Okay,
Please.
We're going to play the clip. Let me.
It's kind of gross.
make sure-
Fair,
Yes.
fair warning,
warning.
it's a juicy, gross
It is-
fart.
No, the Swalwell one. The
I don't
Swalwell
know.
one was
No,
like,
that was like forced. He forced that out.
that was like a trump,
That was forceful.
like a trumpet,
Yeah.
a drum.
Meh.
Biden's.
Yeah.
Biden. I'm gonna do it. You ready to do it? Ready? Biden. No,
Let-
I'm gonna
let-
play the
let me-
Biden.
All right,
Yeah, yeah.
All right, yeah.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the story. There was a pretty loud fart noise during a Joe Biden live stream from BuzzFeed. Politicians, they say, can be full of hot air. Oh, BuzzFeed.
Oh, yeah.
Just admit it. It was a fart. And you all know it. Deep down inside of you, you know it. And you know it was Joe Biden. Watch this clip.
You don't have to cut those teachers and firefighters, police officers, and cut critical health care programs, or stop work on roads and bridges. So what does the human cost of lack of state and local fiscal relief look officers? And
face.
cut
Watch
critical
this
health
guy's
care
face.
programs, or stop work on roads and bridges. So
That is
what does the human cost
cheek slapping
of
right there.
lack of state and
BuzzFeed even mentions that this dude is like, whoa.
Yeah, he's shocked. Look at his face.
Did you just...
He's like, what?
That's
Did you just
amazing.
what?
He's taken aback.
He's trying. He's a professional.
No, look at that. That's being
Professional. That's all that happens is just a little eyebrow raise, a little, check yourself a little bit.
Very
I'm good. I'm good.
contained.
I'm listening
Yeah.
to what you're saying, sir.
Still listening.
Sure.
I can't believe it.
I'm not
Admire
distracted.
him. Yeah.
What is someone... Oh, man. Someone said it was a shart.
That's what I was thinking.
what I
I'm
was
like,
saying.
whoever it is needs to change their pants because that was wet and juicy.
Dude.
Come on, y'all know it.
And you know what I love is how they're always like,
Mm.
right-wing figures pounce.
Oh.
They're a conservative pounce on Joe Biden's fart. Stop it, BuzzFeed.
You can't-
Look at right-wing figures on Twitter soon clipped the moment, and it was subsequently shared by the conservative outlet The Daily Caller, as well as Trump Jr. Why are you telling me this?
Yeah. Okay.
BuzzFeed, you're sharing the story. How about we drop the
You
pretense?
wrote an article about it.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
So I voted that. Look at this. So what do you think? I love that. So the first one with the most votes is made by Biden, 57%. I admit I voted for that one.
Made in
I would have
America.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
here's one.
voted by.
I don't care. I'm just glad you put resources into this important story.
For the record,
Self-reflection.
I want this on record. This is the only time I will have ever voted for Biden.
Right.
That's it.
That's
just,
fair.
Just making that.
I appreciate
Oh,
that.
man.
Oh my gosh.
Not really a fart, but some other noise. A lot of people believe that.
Really?
I think it's possible, but
no way.
it-
I definitely heard
Oh,
cheek
dude,
slapping.
I don't even want to think about it.
I've heard a
man.
lot of farts.
The shart heard round the world.
Yep.
I don't even want to think about. Like, okay, hold. All right, here we go. You ready for this? in order to determine whether or not that truly was a fart, you have to think about the physiology of Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And, I don't
just-
want to.
No, look. Okay. All right. Okay. He's just an old guy. Okay? These things happen.
Yes.
It's
I
true.
completely
It's true.
understand. I worked
Exactly.
with a lot of old people.
This is-
it happens.
This is why
This is great.
I think it was real because he's an old guy and that was like an old man fart.
That was such an old man fart.
But
Seriously,
BuzzFeed
yeah.
and
the case.
and he didn't even he didn't stop talking. He just rolled right through it. That's an old man thing to do.
But he right. But he does
So he
sit
felt
up.
it. He felt it.
Yeah.
Well, he
But-
moved forward and then came back on the return
you-
as it came out.
And Tom Wolfe is like,
What
Whoa.
did I just experience?
he's like, oh,
Do you guys think he's hard of hearing?
Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Totally, dude.
Probably.
Yeah, he probably didn't think anyone could hear it. He's like, I feel it.
Guy's
Nobody
80
heard
years
it.
old.
Right?
Do you think he even heard it?
I
Do you
don't-
think he
I don't
even
think he did.
knows that he farted?
Yeah.
Maybe- I
People
think
are
he-
like,
well, he
"Man,
sat
what,
up.
how did you fart?" And he's like, "Me?"
He sat up because he felt
What?
it. But yeah, I don't think he
Yeah,
did.
he knows.
He did lean forward a little bit
he
and
did
lean.
feel it.
But check this out.
Yeah.
Check this out.
All right.
It's not the first time there's been a strange fart. Now this story, oh man, look, we're going there because we go
Yes.
to dark and dangerous places here in Timcast IRL.
favorite.
Man, I couldn't hold my laugh back.
So Adam didn't know about this story. Eric Swalwell is a Democrat from California.
So beautiful.
And BuzzFeed did an investigation, and Vice did an investigation where Vice is like, who farted, an investigation, and like, but to be fair, like it really did bring everyone together.
Sure
That's
did.
true.
But no one believed this guy. Check this out. A lawmaker denied ripping an absolutely enormous fart on live television. Quote, "It was not me," Rep. Eric Swalwell said in a text message. "It's funny, though. Fartgate trended on Twitter." And we're gonna get-
funny.
I'm-
That wasn't me though.
yeah. and because of SpaceX and John Boyega and all this other stuff going on, I think we're not going to get a Fartgate 2 on Twitter.
Aw,
That's kind of
think so.
sad.
that does make me sad.
sad.
We'd all be friends
Of all the
again.
gates, of all the gates, come on.
Wait. How many of you would like to hear Eric Swalwell fart?
Can we do it? They can hear
Would you
it,
like
right?
to hear it?
People, I definitely would love to hear it
people
again. It made
demand
me
it.
crack up. It's so funny. And the
Oh,
look on his face. Can we get a
man.
full screen on this?
He totally did
Hold on.
it.
Full screen. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, let's do
You
it.
ready? You ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Enjoy this.
Sound on. Let's hope it works.
Taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help them cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard from
Help them cheat.
Wait, hold on.
An
Hold on.
election.
We're gonna play again.
Wait, one sec.
Shh. Everybody quiet. Everybody quiet. Here we go.
taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help them cheat an election. And the
Okay. No. Hold on.
I can't help it. It's so good.
This dude.
It's so good. Oh man.
This dude. Okay, listen. He stops talking. He paused, and he clearly
leans.
clenches up,
Yeah,
and
he
he leans
clenches.
back. And you know what they claimed? They tried saying that it was like at the same exact moment that he paused and clenched, somebody in the studio dragged a mug across a table.
Nope.
Who drags mugs
I think
across
they
the
actually
table?
even say that in the BuzzFeed article. Do they say that? Let me see if I can.
This raises a really important question about
I don't know if they have
BuzzFeed.
it. Here we go. Here it is.
Oh,
Look
oh,
at-
yep.
The show later tried to explain the sound on Twitter, saying it was all a mug scraping across a desk.
Prove it. Prove it. Show me the video of someone scraping a
show
mug
me the mug.
across
Seriously.
that makes that sound.
Prove it was there.
I need
Yeah.
I need proof.
Yep. Oh, those receipts.
They're just trying to protect a guy who farted on
Oh,
live television.
man.
I don't know why.
that
Let it
is
bring us together.
funny.
That's freaking hilarious.
I don't know, man. What would you do? Like if you were on camera and you were talking and you were like, "This is a very important story," and what would you do?
I already told you.
You don't it?
You don't
Dude, I own my farts.
Yeah.
I own most
You
things
look-
I do. It's like, what else? What other choice do you
What are you
have?
supposed to
What am I
do?
gonna
You
hide?
know what?
Yeah.
This
No.
reminds me of like a
Yeah, I
very
farted.
This reminds me of a very important philosophy I always tell people.
Oh boy.
You only embarrass yourself.
Yes.
true.
You
Boom.
if it's like embarrassment is an internal thing. So the way
Mm-hmm.
I explain is with farts. So I look at it this way: if you're in an elevator and people are around and you're like, "Oh man, you fart," and then you're like all embarrassed because everyone's like, "Oh god," and you're like, "Oh geez," and they know it was me. That's embarrassment. It's your fault.
Yeah.
Because if you're in an elevator
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, "Hey dude,"
So wait, make eye contact.
oh yeah,
Hey, dude.
laugh about it and shuffle it towards them. No, but I was thinking about this like in schools because I was like watching a show or something where like some kid in the class farted and then got all embarrassed and everyone laughed at him and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
they were like, "Ah, you farted," and I'm like, "But what if the person went like this? Hey, farted and then started fanning it at somebody, they would go, oh God. And then that person laughs, right? You choose to be the butt of the joke.
Right. You choose how you
You're
respond.
like, oh, I'm so embarrassed.
Exactly.
If I start laughing too, I'd be like, hey, you're the ones who got to smell it. Think I care?
Yeah.
You can laugh at me all you
now.
want.
Most people don't mind the smell of their own.
I'd be like, why you laughing, dude? You're sniffing my poop. Like, it's in your nose, dude.
You know, it is kind of random. People are saying soy farts, but when I went vegan, my fart stopped smelling.
You're a little lactose
Yo,
intolerant.
my gas was bad. Ask anyone that
No
knew me
lactose, yeah.
pre-vegan. Now it's just hot air.
Something happened where you accidentally had a piece of cheese like a couple weeks ago.
That's
Yeah.
right. There was I don't remember what it was in, right? It was something though, and there was cheese in it, and
I think it was like the crust of a pizza or something.
yeah.
like
I
that.
don't remember what it was,
That
but
was
cheese in
our
it.
personal fart gate.
yeah.
And then
oh
all
man,
of a sudden, it was like
you smelled it.
you fumigated the house.
Hey Tim, I don't know if you know this. I fart around you all the time.
yeah.
This is true. He's not embarrassed.
No, it you know, to get serious about like Eric Swalwell denying it. I don't know if Joe Biden denied it,
I don't think he said anything.
but think about how they deny it. It actually just makes everything worse. Like, bro,
yeah.
Eric,
Why are you
Eric,
denying it?
something happened.
You clearly farted, dude.
we
Come
know
on.
you did.
Yeah,
And now
seriously.
you're just lying.
Do we need to play the video again?
But what? It's a tough spot, I guess. Like, but you gotta just own it.
Yep.
You gotta laugh and be like, you know what? I gotta be honest. I didn't think the mic would pick that up.
Yeah.
I hope you
Could've
guys
made it
enjoyed the
so
sound. It made you
funny.
laugh. I hope it made you all laugh.
Yeah.
And
it did. Yeah, exactly.
did.
Own it.
Hey.
You're making people laugh. What's wrong with that?
Right.
You know what he could have done?
Seriously.
Farting's funny.
Yeah.
You know what he could have done?
Mm-hmm.
If he did an appearance like after this and they asked him about it, and he said, "Let me tell you guys something. Everybody farts.
Yeah.
I didn't think the mic would pick it up, but I'm glad it made you all laugh."
Well, see, here's the thing, though. His fart was funny. Joe Biden's fart is
So
sad.
sad.
It's a sad.
fart.
It's a sad. Oh, it is. You go ahead. Listen to it.
Sad little
And then
You want me to
let's
play it again?
Yes.
Oh my
You know what? There
gosh.
are some people that are like, "Oh, did I miss the fart?"
Did you miss the
Okay.
fart?
This is
Okay.
for the people who missed the fart. Listen to how
Alright.
sad this is.
Little
If I could put this
trombone.
in slow mo for you, I would.
Here we go. Shh, shh, shh. Here we go.
You don't have to cut those teachers and firefighters, police officers, and cut critical health care programs, or stop work on roads and bridges. So what does the human cost of lack of state and local fiscal relief look like in Pennsylvania?
It looks like.
Let's-
If you're
Hold
not-
on, wait,
if you're
wait.
not able to get some
Go back to the beginning. It looks like he's leaning forward, like trying to get. He's like, "Oh man, it's there. I got to lean forward a little bit. Oh, if it's coming, all right, I can lean back now."
No, it's like he leans back as it comes out.
Right, because he knows it's coming. He's like,
He's like, "Oh."
good.
Or like
It's gonna be louder than I thought.
he released the pressure. Look at Tom Wolf's face. It's just look at his
man.
face when it
those
happens.
teachers
Look at his
and
face.
firefighters, police officers, and cut critical health care programs, or stop work on roads and bridges. So what does the human cost of lack
a
of
slight
state
delay.
and local
Yeah.
fiscal relief look like?
Yeah, he knows it.
He had to process it, man.
Yeah, he heard it and was like, "Did I just? Oh,
Did I
I
just-
did just hear that.
Hear that.
I did."
Oh man, he was very professional. I'm pretty
Man.
This
impressed.
is the hard-hitting news that you will find at the TimcastIRL
We don't do
podcast.
this that often. It's a lot.
We
of fun.
don't let a fart go uninvestigated.
No, unlike BuzzFeed is on the trail.
BuzzFeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
The investigation ensues.
I think we've sufficiently beat the
covered
fart.
this?
Beat the fart. We're beating a dead fart. So
How dare you?
why don't we move on though to the actual?
I gotta say though, there's some people in the comments doing a new hashtag Sharkgate. I think that's way more accurate.
amazing.
Nice
Look at
one,
this!
chat.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm
good,
sorry.
nice.
You gotta go back to the display on this
Here
one.
we go.
Look at Joe Biden right here. Just look at this. Look at his
no.
face.
Can you make it full screen?
It is
You know what? You know what he's thinking right there?
What?
Oh no, it's wet.
Oh,
no.
jeez. Pull it out.
Wait, go back. Look at
Alright,
his
alright,
face.
here we go.
Look,
There.
that
There we
is
go. Oh yeah.
that is the look of a man who just realized he sharted.
Misjudged it.
Yep,
Trusted it.
that's it.
Son of a gun.
Mm-hmm. Man,
what he's
oh
thinking?
man, that might have gotten into the chair.
And he's also thinking, how much longer do I gotta do this show now with this in my
Seriously.
pants? That is the look of a man who just
Joe.
charted.
Oh my goodness.
no.
This is true journalism right here.
I'm very proud of us right now.
Everyone, we are uniting the populist left and right behind
Yes,
this.
yes.
I tell you, we will all be holding hands in Washington, D.C. in front of the White House, rocking back and forth, singing songs. because Joe Biden's fart has unified us.
Wonderful.
Yep.
There's gonna be like a
beautiful.
dude.
It's beautiful.
There's gonna be a dude with like a Gadsden flag and like a Trump shirt, and there's gonna be an Antifa guy with like a Bernie shirt, and they're gonna be screaming, and then someone's gonna run up to him and be like, "Guys, Joe Biden farted," and they're gonna look at each other and they're gonna hug.
Yeah.
Yes. I can see it.
The world. It's beautiful.
World peace.
Do we really have to go to the serious thing about Tulsi Gabbard now?
Oh, now I'm
Yes.
sad.
All right. Let's
Okay,
do it.
fine, I guess.
This one actually kind of bugs me out. Tulsi Gabbard drops a defamation suit against Hillary Clinton.
See, now I was making jokes about this months ago. Like when her documentary dropped, Biden said, "I'm going to pick a woman VP." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's going to pick Hillary."
Adam spoke it into existence.
He's going to pick Hillary, guys. I'm just joking. Haha, that's funny, right?
It's Adam's fault.
You manifested it, bro.
Oh no. What did I do?
What have you done?
There was an article in the Hill saying that there was going to be like a Hillary Obama ticket or something.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Like the convention would fall apart, Joe Biden would sunset or something. And then, I mean, look, the
What, like Hillary and Michelle
or Hillary and Barack.
as a VP?
Yep.
Is that legal?
I don't know, but that's what they were arguing. And it's like there have been a ton. So first and foremost, right? They keep putting out these stories like she's running because they know it gets clicks when they do it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and so I've actually backed off from making this kind of content. That's why I didn't do it. I didn't do a standard news segment for my other channel on this.
Okay.
Because I'm like, dude, there's been so much speculation about this. Like I've been roped into. Like a story will pop up and be like, Hillary does these things. She may be running, and then I'll do a video about it and be like, oh man. And then I'm like, this is just clickbait. Like I'm there. You know, I bring this up, fairly often. Like I can tell that some stories are written with the intent of getting people like me to show the article and be like, whoa. So I'm conscious of that. If I do a segment like that, I'll point it out. Like I know they're trying to bait me into talking about their content or their platform or whatever.
Yeah.
But I gotta admit, this one's weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
I'm weird.
I'm a big fan of Tulsi, right?
We know.
And Andrew, in the end, I was more for Andrew Yang than Tulsi.
Yeah.
Now I think the Democrats are just a waste of time, and unfortunately, I think this just adds to it.
Yep. This is leading right into what I was saying.
Yeah.
So Tulsi was suing Hillary Clinton because she said that Hillary was like a Russian asset. Let's read it. Fox News reports Rep. Tulsi Gabbard dropped her defamation suit against Hillary Clinton Wednesday, ending a brief legal battle over comments made by the former Secretary of State, suggesting the Congresswoman has ties to Russia. Gabbard filed the $50 million lawsuit after Clinton said in an October 2019 interview that one of the Democratic presidential contenders was the favorite of the Russians and a Russian asset. Gabbard, who served in the Army National Guard, was a presidential candidate at the time. She's currently a major, isn't she? She's not out, is she?
I thought she's reserves. Could be wrong.
Reserves?
I think so.
I don't know.
Well, let me look.
Yeah.
But she's still serving, isn't she?
Yeah. She was a major. Clinton didn't mention Gabbard by name, but her spokesman later said, if the nesting doll fits. In a court filing, Gabbard's lawyers dismissed the legal action. While they remain certain of the action's legal merit, they are just as certain that this new COVID and post-COVID world require them to focus their time and attention on other priorities, including defeating Donald Trump in 2020. Rather than righting the wrongs here, the attorney said, according to The Hill. The lawsuit contended that Clinton had no basis for making her false assertions. Gabbard claimed the former 2016 candidate had a unique personal connection to Tulsi that animates her hostility toward Tulsi in her presidential campaign. She also claimed that Clinton's hostility stemmed from her support for Senator Bernie Sanders in 2016. Clinton was extremely angry, to put it mildly, that Tulsi endorsed Senator Sanders over her. All right. The first thing is, let's be calm, rational, and reasonable people. Tulsi may have just dropped this because the suit was bunk. Like, there you go.
And yet, it's literally saying right here that it isn't bunk. It's not bunk. It's,
well, of course.
We have legal merit for these actions.
Saving face.
I don't know. That doesn't seem like they would throw that in there then, if that's the case.
Saying someone is the favorite of the Russians is clear opinion.
Right.
And saying that she was a Russian asset is, I would say it's not clear, but it is opinion.
So what was the whole point of doing it in the first place? Opening the suit against Hillary?
Press. Yeah, this is one of the biggest complaints I had about Tulsi is that she leaned too hard into these, like Hillary Clinton. Like Hillary Clinton called her an asset.
Yeah.
Tulsi made this epic takedown tweet calling her. What did she call her? Can you pull it up? That was amazing.
Yeah, I'll find it.
So Tulsi called Hillary like a warmonger.
Yeah.
What did you
Queen
call it?
of Scum or something.
The Queen of
I
Scum.
don't know,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
remember.
Yeah,
It was
pull it
really
up, pull it up, pull it up.
spicy.
You
All
can
right,
find
I'm looking.
It was a bomb. It was a nuke, and it was a tactical nuke. So now, there's a few things we can say. The suit was for PR. A lot of people thought it was just to generate press because it did get her name out there. I thought that was a bad idea. I always tell people these kinds of drama attacks are not good for like trying to generate prestige or merit behind your name.
Okay.
You know, so but maybe not. Maybe
you think Hillary paid her to do this? Here.
Possible.
Take some money.
Yeah.
And drop the suit.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I believe 100%. I'm saying it's is it possible? Yes, absolutely possible that happened. So we just saw James Damore, who was suing Google for discrimination against conservatives, white people, and I think Asians.
Okay.
He dismissed his own suit. His lawyer, who's I believe was Harmeet K. Dillon, who's like a very prominent lawyer, and they submitted saying we're gonna end this case, and everyone was like, that's weird. And so my speculation is it's a way of settling without having the opponent, the defendant, admit defeat. So this case could literally be because Hillary Clinton went to Tulsi and they were like, we'll give you $1 million, and then but you have to dismiss the case because a settlement is our admission of guilt.
Right.
So then they go and say, okay, we're done. And the Donald Trump thing is an easy excuse.
Exactly.
It's an easy
the
out.
Easiest. Yeah, for sure.
Or maybe
you can't have a lawsuit over Hillary Clinton's defamation if she's going to be grabbing the nomination at the last minute.
That's what I was thinking.
If the strategy of the Democrats has been to have Joe Biden be a shield, to place hold, and absorb all of the brunt of all the negative attacks and all the cash.
Yep.
And then at the last minute, he falls down some stairs or hits his head or...
Wait. Excuse me. Falls down some stairs.
Okay,
Right.
in his case, it might be like actually falling down.
All right.
It just makes it more plausible.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
If he's an old man and he can't run anymore, and then they're like, who do we have? And everyone goes, yay, Hillary. Tulsi Gabbard can't scream yay, Hillary if she's suing her for defamation.
Right.
And more importantly, if they're trying to avoid the negative press, this would pop up immediately.
Yeah,
Right.
this is really weird.
Quashed,
Suspect, yo.
wiped away. It could also be much more simple than that. Just like Hillary Clinton's camp, they were like, okay, so when Hillary officially takes the nomination in September, what are our liabilities? And this Tulsi Gabbard suit's a liability. Ask her what she wants.
Yep.
And then they negotiated, and they cut a big paycheck.
Came up with something. Yeah.
But it depends. If you think Tulsi has principles behind her, and I don't like this. To be fair,
Agreed. I don't like
though,
it either.
I mean, Tulsi may have just run out of money.
Maybe.
It's also
Yeah.
that simple. That her lawyers are like, here's your bill, $30,000 for all the paperwork we've done so far. And then she's like, I can't do this. We need to cut it.
Yeah.
So how much to draft it? We're walking away from this.
That makes sense too.
She's out of the race. She's not running for re-election.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what her plan is moving forward. So I guess the more fun question is, moving on from the Tulsi Gabbard stuff, will Hillary Clinton be running?
No.
You mentioned something about her appearing.
Yeah. Right when, as soon as Biden said, I'm going to pick a woman, I was like, oh man, I'm making a joke, blah, 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 haha, Hillary. And then the next day I see her face, and when I turn the TV on, it's just like a big Hillary face. I'm like, what the heck is this? Oh, her brand new documentary just dropped. It's like, oh, of course.
And a book.
And then, oh, she's got a book deal. And then a month later, she's hosting a town hall meeting with Joe
Yeah.
Biden and does all the talking. And I'm
hold
like,
on.
what is going on here?
She also did a fundraiser without Joe that broke a record.
For what?
For
What was the fundraising
for the DNC and like it was like only. So I was reading, and I could be wrong about this because I don't have the article pulled up, but it was something like it was a joint DNC plus like super PAC thing, meaning there was no spending limit, and so they ended up raising millions of dollars.
Wow.
Where if it was a direct thing with Joe Biden, then you have a limit from the federal election.
I see.
Laws.
Right, because she's not actually running right now.
That's another thing that people don't understand about why they don't say they're running. Right now, you could go to Goldman Sachs or some bank and say that you can privately tell them, I really think I'm going to run. It'd be great if I had you in my corner. Wink.
Wink, wink.
And then they go, would you like to do a paid speaking gig where we pay you $10 million to speak to our employees? And you go, that would be great. Thank you. I will speak to your employees for $10 million. And then you shake hands, and then they like go on the intercom, and they're like, Jerry, come down to room 17-5. And then you're like, how's it going? Yo, what's up? All right, we're good. We're good. And you walk out, and they go, here's your $10 million. And then the next day, you announce your run.
Yikes.
And that was totally legal. I mean, I'm really exaggerating here.
Right.
But that's what Hillary was accused of. Like, everyone knew she was going to run, and she was doing a round of speaking engagements that paid hundreds of thousands of
This is
dollars.
back in like 2015, right?
Yeah.
I remember.
I mean,
that.
there's also the fact that, like, dude, you know what, man? How stupid is it that you can be working for the federal government, like the State Department, and have a foundation that accepts money from foreign interests?
That's really weird.
It's like
I
bribery right in
agreed.
front of our faces.
Yeah.
I don't like
Blatant.
Dude. And yeah, the funny thing is when she lost, the Clinton Foundation donations like tanked.
Oh, really?
We all knew
Oh,
what that was
yeah.
for.
Yep.
And I talked to my friends about it who like voted for, and I'm like, don't you have any questions about like, okay, for all I know, it's legitimate, whatever. I don't care. The point is, like, why are foreign governments donating millions of dollars to her foundation while she's Secretary of State or whatever?
Yeah. I don't
And
like it.
you know what the response I get from all these lefties is?
What?
Huh?
They don't
Huh?
know anything
They
about
don't know.
it.
They don't even know about it.
Anything about
And
it.
I'm like,
What a surprise.
if I told you that was the case, would that strike you as odd?
That all I can think of
I
is
don't know.
we were talking about the left just reads the left stuff
Yeah.
instead
they're-
of
they're
being
they're
aware
protected.
of everything that's happening.
Right.
It's like that
Doing research, right?
It's like that 4chan meme where
Mhm.
they said any sufficiently free speech, like unmoderated platform becomes right wing because the left relies on a very carefully crafted narrative to protect
Curated.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think a really good example of this is just like I tweeted about new footage came out in the George Floyd case that shows he wasn't resisting, at least in the way people would assume for sure.
Yeah.
And someone tweeted at me, "This must be hard for you."
What?
That's the world they live in. I'm like, bro, I'm like hardcore liberty, free speech. If the government's violating someone's constitutional rights, I get mad about it.
Right.
Yeah. What?
Like, what are you
It's not
doing?
hard for you
where
at
do
all.
where do they get their information from?
It's just an assumption of they live in this world that isn't reality. And even when I tweeted something, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, bro, I just put out a tweet, got like 1,500 retweets showing this guy being arrested, not resisting.
Yep.
It's
Messed up.
And the response from them is they're mad at me.
Yeah. What?
Like, you're insulting me? Like, take the win, dude. Like, what do you mean?
Take the win.
If you think I'm this villain, shouldn't you just take the win?
Yeah. I don't get it.
That's the world they live in.
Yep.
So you can have Hillary Clinton, you can have Obamagate. The most annoying thing to me, though, is there really are grifters, man. For those that aren't familiar with what a grifter is, they accuse me of being a grifter because I don't like Democrats, and I'm like, yeah, but like I don't. And I talk about it all the time. Like, I think my feelings are rooted in growing up in Chicago
Okay.
and being ripped off by corrupt Democrats all day, every day.
Yeah.
And so, like, Republicans weren't a part of my life. I never cared. They weren't like, I don't know, whatever. I disagree with you. And so it felt like I was being betrayed by those who were supposed to be, fighting for me.
Yep. That makes sense.
And then it's also a combination of the weird, like, let's just be honest, man. Joe Biden, the everything about the Democrats in the past 5 or 6 years has been just like wacky, insane.
Agreed.
I'll be honest though. Obama really made me angry
Yeah.
because I was like, I'm gonna vote for this guy, and then he's like, and then as soon as he gets in office, he's like, the first thing I'm gonna do, blow up some kids, and I was like, what? What, bro, man.
What do you think is the higher percentage of what's going to happen? Hillary becomes the VP, and then Joe Biden dies while in office, or she takes his place as a nominee?
I think
I both are hypotheticals. Not saying that this is going to happen, but what do you think has the higher percentage of what would happen? Which do you think is going to happen
I don't know
between those two?
if those are the only two choices.
Those are the only two choices you got.
Because I honestly think those are both really, really low.
Oh yeah,
probabilities,
I
right?
agree. The probability of this happening is
I
low.
think she'd take VP, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she'd replace him as a candidate.
Okay.
Because he's a shield.
It was take the VP and then Biden dies. That was actually
That's part of it.
the first choice.
Yeah.
You got to say the whole thing. You can't.
And then
you
Biden
can't,
dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think. if it was between those two, she would take VP, and then he would die.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. I think it'll be like a Cheney Bush thing.
Yeah, okay.
Where it's like, clearly the VP is, pulling the strings and running the show, and you get some. Here's what I said they're gonna do. Listen, I want you to imagine this. Joe Biden's in a wheelchair. Okay. They put a blanket on his lap.
Yep.
His head is down, and he's just like snoring and muttering. And they wheel him in, and he's won. And they bring him to the back room by the sun, and they put him up against the window, and there's a nice little sunbeam on his lap, and he's warm and cozy and falls asleep.
Picturing it.
And then Hillary sits at the Resolute desk.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it's like,
And he just stays asleep the whole time.
right.
Yeah.
I could see
Exactly.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I picture it.
The dude can't be president. And so it's funny because when we've heard it over and over again from tons of different people about Joe Biden's mental health, from progressives, from conservatives. Everybody knows.
Everybody.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
If it's like it reminds me of Legend of Zelda. It's a secret to everybody. You remember that saying from the original Zelda game?
Mm-mm.
So
The first one?
the very first Zelda game,
Okay.
there were like certain areas where you could put a bomb in front of like a mountain,
Yeah.
and then you'd walk in, and there's like a dude, and he says it's a secret to everybody, and then he gives you money, and it's like a secret way to get rupees for like buying stuff.
Dope.
And I'm like, what that means to me is everyone knows that Biden can't be the president.
Okay.
Yeah.
Except Biden.
I think even he knows.
I don't think he knows.
I think he knows.
Maybe.
But it's-
Biden
but it's-
be slipping, yo.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, as much as most of us are open about it, I think all the resistance people, they know it, and they're pretending. And that's what I think. It's like it's a secret to everyone. It's like the secret is that they're planning on swapping out Joe Biden.
Yep.
Everybody knows, but everyone's kind of like looking at each other, shifty-eyed.
Is that like the elephant in the room? Basically.
The elephant in the room?
Yeah. So.
No.
Thing that no one
Yeah,
wants
yeah.
to talk about, but
Yeah.
it's so
No.
blaringly
It's definitely
obvious.
there.
Kind of, but the elephant room is like there's a big problem that no one wants to address.
Like.
It's
Kind of.
how is that not
Yeah,
the same?
that
No,
seems the
This is a
same
pretty
to
big
me.
problem. He
No,
can't
no.
be president.
Yeah.
His mind is
It's
slipping
because
his ass is slipping.
They're putting him there on purpose. That's why I think it's different.
Okay.
Like, but they've propped him up, and it's not. It's kind of like that could maybe work elephant in the room, but I think it's more so that we all know there is a game afoot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
clearly.
And we had that woman, the director of communications, say on what show was that on? Was it Fox? Yeah. It was Bill Hemmer. She said that's his name, right?
I'm not sure. Not sure what you're
Fox
referring
Nu-
to right.
Fox
right now.
News is America's Newsroom. Bill Hemmer, is that his name?
I think so.
Yeah, Google it.
Yeah.
Thank you, appreciate it. She said, "We are not officially nominating Joe Biden to defeat Donald Trump," and everybody was like, "Whoa,
Oh,
did
yeah.
she just admit it?"
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
what does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? So you're
Yeah.
nominating him to defeat himself? To defeat who? He's going against Donald Trump.
Or is she straight up saying we're not choosing Biden to go up against Trump?
Yeah.
She said that the convention must happen
what it
because
sounds like.
we're not officially nominating Joe Biden to defeat Donald Trump. Something like I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the full quote, but it's something like that.
Yeah.
And so the argument is like, to be fair, maybe she's saying we're not only nominating Joe Biden just to defeat Trump. But why wouldn't she say it that way?
Agreed.
It sounded like she was saying she knows it ain't going to be Biden. And I think deep down we all know it too,
Oh yeah.
especially after the fart. Joe Biden farted.
Yes, in
By the
case
way.
you missed it.
I think deep down we all know, man.
Oh
I
yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's always funny to talk about Hillary Clinton potentially running because everyone hates her guts. But let's be real, man. Everybody hates her.
I know.
Yeah.
What are what are they thinking? What are the Dems thinking?
I don't
that-
think it'll be
Do
Hillary.
they think that that's gonna work? Nothing they do, I feel, can work right now.
Dude.
They're backed into a corner. They should just sit in the corner and just
let's
stay there for a while and recollect their thoughts.
let's go back to 2008, right?
Okay.
Barack Obama, celebrity candidate,
Yeah.
charismatic, strong, youthful. Man, he had it. A lot of people really liked this guy. And then he did, really authoritarian expand like, wow. National Defense Authorization Act, indefinite detention provisions, extrajudicial assassinations,
Yep.
FISA spying. Like, wow, he had it all. Spying on journalists,
Yeah.
prosecuting more whistleblowers
He did
and all other
everything.
presidents combined.
Checked
And
all
still
boxes.
got all the left to love him the whole time.
Got
Well,
reelected.
yeah, but he was a celebrity, right?
Exactly.
And,
yeah.
and they loved it. But think about, so his reelection, Mitt Romney. What is Mitt Romney?
Seriously.
Right? Fart
Right.
noise. So Obama still had it. I think Trump's approval rating is higher than Obama's was at the same time
Okay.
in his first term. But then look at 2016. What did the Democrats have to offer after Obama? It was like, what was it, like Martin O'Malley or something was the guy's name?
Oh gosh, I don't remember.
There was like two people.
Putting me on the
It was like
spot.
two people and Hillary. And then but then Bernie pops up out of nowhere
right.
and created
Yes,
chaos.
I only
That's a good
remember
point.
Bernie.
Yeah.
It's
Bernie
true.
steps up. But even without Bernie, why didn't the Democrats have any nominees? It really felt like in 2008, Hillary was like, look, that people thought she was going to win, and then Obama came in and took it away. So then she gets a role in Obama's administration. Then come to the 2016 cycle, which includes 2015.
Yeah.
The Democratic candidates were like some randos no one knew or cared about. There was no personality. There was no plan. It was just Hillary.
Yep.
And people hate her.
Yes,
They really do, man. Like the basket of deplorables thing.
I tried to watch her documentary. Me and Ian were talking about it. Like, we need to just force ourselves to watch this and see what it's about. And they the first thing is like, man, everyone hates her. Why? What is it about it? And then they're like, it's such a puff piece. It's insane. I couldn't watch it anymore. I had to shut it off. I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Kill me now.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned this the other day where they did the debate between Trump and Hillary, but gender swapped it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then man, I watched a clip of it, and seeing the guy be Hillary, I'm like, I don't like him.
I don't like that person.
So what's fascinating is the primary in Michigan.
Yeah.
It was with Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, and Joe Biden crushed, sweeping everything. This is bad news for Trump. The Bernie people thought they would win Michigan because they beat Hillary there last time.
Yep.
But that just shows you how much people really, really hated Hillary.
Well, when you listen to Hillary talk, she talks like someone who feels entitled to everybody's worship almost.
Yeah.
Like, you don't worship me?
Do you know the story?
Yeah, seriously.
Do you know the story about her on some Air Force cargo plane or something?
No, what is it?
There was I don't know the full story, so I could be getting it totally wrong. But I read this somewhere that she's on this Air Force jet or plane or something.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of Air Force servicemen, crewmen, and then she's sitting there reading, and she takes her wine glass and goes and holds it up.
Woo.
And then there's these they're military guys. They're I don't know what rank they are, but they're not nobodies, and they're
Yeah.
what?
What are you doing?
And then she goes,
Again?
yeah, and apparently the guy came up and refilled her drink for her.
Wow.
So I heard that because some guy wrote a book. I don't know if it's true or not. So fact check me. But I think stories like that we would absolutely want to believe true. But we want to believe it because it really does seem like it fits her personality.
Yeah.
You're like this, you will get me a drink. That's what people don't like about her. But
true.
Look at the primary. What people don't realize is one of the things that got Trump a victory was how much they despised Hillary.
It's true.
Trump won some states by only a few thousand votes. So the people who think that Biden can't win, that hubris, I think things have changed.
Well, his approval rating has gone up. I mean,
Yeah,
I considered myself Democrat for the longest time. I mean, I don't consider myself a Republican,
Right.
but I'm going to vote for Trump. I don't want some rando. I don't want
Hillary.
Biden.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want Hillary.
Yeah.
Man,
So it's
Yeah.
like they got me to change my mind.
I don't like any of them.
Yeah.
I don't mind watching Trump on the TV. It makes me laugh. But as
Yeah.
a president, it's not my choice. Considering now they've placed Biden up against him, now they've actually got you ever play Metal Gear Solid and the exclamation point? That's what happened when they were like Biden. I was like, oh God.
Right.
It's look, Trump, I think
Or whenever he talks at all. Same thing.
Biden?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Exactly
know.
the same.
The fart.
Oh my gosh.
It's happening again.
Yeah.
When Trump talks, I laugh.
Yeah.
And sometimes I facepalm. Have you seen the Joe Scarborough tweets?
No.
He's been tweeting relentlessly about MSNBC Joe Scarborough. Because in 2000, an intern working for Scarborough was found dead in his office or whatever.
Oh, geez.
A couple months later, he resigns. And it's a big conspiracy. People think it was a cover up. And I'm just I don't know anything about it, man. I get it. People are concerned about corruption and this guy getting away with it. He was a Republican at the time.
Yikes.
And Trump keeps tweeting about it over and over again. And I'm just
I don't care.
dude, look, when you rag on CNN and Jim Acosta, I'm laughing. I really am. Because I'm these people are...
They kind of deserve it.
Well, it's deserve...
All right, yeah.
They're just bad people who make a mockery of journalism, who are lying all day. And Joe Scarborough has a lot of issues, for sure. He's actually said some complimentary things towards Trump. He's just another guy with his opinion. And it's one thing if Trump came out and tweeted something like, Joe Scarborough said this, he's totally wrong, what a moron, I'd laugh. But when he starts bringing up stuff from 20 years ago about some conspiracy stuff, I'm like, dude, you're not arguing about it. That's what I don't like about the Democrats. They say Trump is bad, Trump is racist, and I'm like, those aren't arguments. That you're not telling me anything.
Right.
So if Trump wants to come out and complain about MSNBC, he's not telling me anything. I don't know what I'm supposed to feel about that. I'm like, I don't know. what you think is going to happen with Joe Scarborough.
Yeah, I feel you.
So it's like, yeah. So anyway, I digress. The main point was Trump has vulnerabilities. And according to the New York Times, his base is bigger than ever. His favorability is way up. And he's got a higher approval rating, or he did, I should say, in the last Gallup poll than Obama and Bush for the same time period.
Wow.
I think Clinton's was higher. But Clinton did dip in a certain period. So that it bodes well for Trump. But when you take into consideration how much people hated Hillary Clinton, you might get a bunch of passive, like we mentioned, like these leftists who don't, these liberals, whatever you want to call them, who don't read the news or anything. And they're just like, no Trump. And so you think about that person, and you think about Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, and they're looking at Hillary going, oh, and they're hitting like Trump over and over again. And then you look at today, and they see Trump and Biden, they go, oh, Biden, it's like Obama, yeah. That's what that dude said on the Rogan podcast. What was his name? Tim Dillon? Was that Tim Dillon?
That was oh crap, I can't remember.
I think it was,
his
right?
name. Yeah.
Yeah, he said people are going to vote for Biden because it gives them nostalgia to the Obama years.
That's
like
why every single time Biden was debating anyone, first thing he would say is, well, when me and Obama were, Obama, it's like every other word was Obama. It's like, stop saying Obama.
Biden-Bama. Biden-Bama.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I don't know what we're
That was frustrating.
We'll see what's going to happen. You know, we can speculate in politics all day and night. But how about we talk about something else? So we have a couple options.
Yes.
We have racism.
Oh, gosh.
Or outer space.
Oh.
Well, you know my vote.
Yeah, you know my vote, I think.
I was on the edge of my seat. I was really excited to watch them launch into space. It's really,
so
it's really cool.
Outer space?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like we did that yesterday.
Our minds.
Outer space.
Yes.
This is cool. We got a diagram of the SpaceX rocket.
Yes.
But first, bad news. As most of you know, the SpaceX first manned rocket launch was called off.
Well, just pushed 3 days back.
Well, it says called off. But I'm building suspense, man. Give me a break.
I know, but that's incorrect. That's
so
false
sad.
information.
No, it's true.
It wasn't called off.
It is
Heartbreaking.
technically the truth, the best kind of the truth. Okay?
Yes.
It was called off to be postponed till Saturday. So it's going to happen. All right.
So many extra words
Working
for
up to
nothing.
it.
For fun. It was a storm. All right. But here's what I said this early on. I'm going to say it again. Elon Musk, I think in all likelihood, it's fair to say, or at least from the way I view the world, most important human being on the planet.
You know what? I am inclined to agree with you because you're right. We do need something to unite us, and we're not united.
No, this won't unite us.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. We have seen, you know, man, like, I know it's cliche to hear Tim Pool complain about the left, to be honest, but they're complaining that he's wasting money on other planets instead of our own.
Okay.
And people are saying things like, could you imagine if Elon Musk was spending money on healthcare instead of rockets? And I'm like, do you know that like a lot of advancements in technology were developed through space funding, like
True.
A lot of technologies? And more importantly, do you know that the money that Elon Musk spends stays on Earth?
Yeah.
They don't get that.
And he's spending it in America too.
Right.
Yeah.
You spend it here, it hires people, it pays for equipment, and they build a rocket, and then the rocket goes to another planet.
Yeah, he's bringing space launching back to America. That's huge. We had to pay Russia so much money to use their rocket to put one American into space. I don't actually have the numbers, but that's the truth. We needed Russia. We needed their rocket because they have the Soyuz that they've been bringing us into space. Now we can do it on our own. That only costs like $1.5 million to go up into space.
And he's done
That's
the
incredibly cheap.
reusable
That's
rockets.
insane. Now we're not paying Russia. Why aren't we talking about that?
That's fantastic.
That's huge.
Yeah.
When he fired, when he launched the Tesla into outer space,
Yeah, everyone's complaining.
it was all these it's these Karens, bro.
Yeah.
It's Karen culture.
Something I can complain about.
Yep. We should be spending that money on healthcare for people, not putting a car in outer space.
I love the Karen voice.
It's like
It was a test flight.
it was a payload test.
They needed to put something in there that weighed a certain amount.
Exactly.
and
It was
that's pretty cool.
And he runs Tesla.
So
Yeah,
we put a
give
guy,
him
the astronaut, the dummy in it. And the other thing too is like, it's inspirational.
Yeah.
It's like how many little kids saw that hot rod red convertible in outer space with the astronaut in it, and they were like,
I want to be that astronaut.
yeah. You ever
Right.
see that video of Elon Musk crying when he found out like Buzz Aldrin or whatever criticized him?
No, what is it?
No.
What do you say?
I don't know exactly what happened, but let me see if I can Google it real quick.
That's terrible.
Yeah, Elon cried. He cries a lot.
He's a little emotional.
Here we go. Elon Musk almost Neil Armstrong. Here we go.
Oh.
What is this? I don't know exactly what happened. I'm appearing teary-eyed over Neil Armstrong reaction.
What was he reacting to? What was that all about?
I thought it was Buzz Aldrin. Let's click cried and see what happens. Elon Musk almost in tears. Anyway, look, whatever, man. We'll bring it back to the actual story.
Yeah.
But he was being criticized
Okay.
as like something I don't know, like some kid playing with toys or whatever, and it was like for him it was devastating because
It was probably a hero
he's
of his.
done,
Yeah,
right?
seriously.
Buzz Aldrin, like
Being told like
he's
this
a
dude.
like a one of the greatest, known.
I don't know if it was Buzz. I think it was like Neil Armstrong or whatever.
Another one.
Right.
It's the same thing, same
His
echelon
hero.
of
Seriously,
spaceman.
yeah.
It's like, man, you went to the moon. Like, wow.
Yeah.
He probably looked up to him forever. So now to hear him criticize him that was probably devastating.
Yeah.
I get it.
I think Elon's cried before too. He's an
Okay.
eccentric dude.
He is a little off.
I don't
You know
think
what,
there's
man?
anything wrong with that.
I don't think so either.
Well, in principle, and then when Elon Musk tweets some crazy
Yeah.
nonsense and people are like their stocks are crashing and the company's freaking out, and
Yeah.
then it's like he's being accused of like shorting the market and all this other crazy stuff. It's like, whatever. I'm not gonna say he's exactly like Trump, but
They have a lot in common.
there's some weird overlap between the eccentric billionaire personality types. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Maybe something about being eccentric makes you more likely to be a billionaire. Maybe
Yeah, I could
Who
see
knows?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take risks.
But let's talk about why we gotta go to Mars, man.
Yeah.
It's
Let's talk
because
about
of
it.
this. It's because a tiny asteroid, super close to Earth, flyby, shows planetary protection in action. This asteroid,
Yeah. I don't know how many people know about this.
if it hit us, do you know what would have happened? It would have burned up in the atmosphere, and we would never have noticed.
That is true. Yes.
Now hold on. No, I'm working it up to it.
Okay. You do it then. Like,
Then-
I'm just glad we're talking about this.
Then
I know all
hold on,
about
hold
this
on.
stuff.
Actually, to be fair, we have this story. Huge asteroid 1998 OR2 will zip harmlessly by Earth April 29th. See the telescope. This one, even bigger.
Yeah, that was a much bigger one. Yeah.
And you know what would have happened if this one hit us? Well, how big was this one? Did they say?
Was that the 4-kilometer one?
No.
No, that's Chicxulub that actually hit us.
Oh, okay, the biggest one.
1.1 miles. Okay, that's Chicxulub size.
Oh, that's no
One,
joke.
2 point.
to
Yeah.
2.5
right.
miles.
Yeah.
So if that asteroid hit us, we would all be dead.
The little one was the joke.
Yeah.
But when they show that little asteroid, they're like, "Hey, look, our planetary defense works or whatever." It's like it alerted us that it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
This thing starts coming. This thing hits us. We don't exist anymore.
That's correct.
We're gone.
We would be dead.
Yeah.
Well, there would be mole people, like the people who live under Las Vegas and New York.
Yes, those people.
Yeah.
I don't even know about that.
Morlocks.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know if that
yeah.
would work
No.
because it was like that asteroid turned the sky to molten lava essentially.
The sky.
Yes, because what happened was when it hit, it kicked up
right.
so much dust into the
Flame.
atmosphere that covered the entire planet. So when it was re-entering the planet, it was clumping together and then burning. So the whole sky was fire.
Yeah, but you're underground, right? Look, I'm
It
telling you,
lasted
listen.
for a long time. It wasn't.
Yep.
It wasn't just like,
Right?
and
So,
it's over.
Listen. There are people who live under New York City,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's a
Uh-huh.
big, complex maze,
Yes.
Okay.
and there are rats.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, they go up for food, right? But let's say this massive thing hits Australia, right?
Okay.
And then it wraps around the planet, and then eventually reaches New York. We go a couple thousand years of the subterranean, mole people. They eat the rats. The rats breed from eating, funguses, and you got mole people that live underground and are pale with big eyes, and they eat rats.
Okay.
Huh.
And that's humanity's fate.
Oh, good. I'm very
Maybe.
excited about the future.
Unless
Is that better than
unless we get to Mars and get to the moon and we
Yeah.
start setting up going into space comfortably that we can get out and handle something
That seems
Can
more
we-
like
exciting.
the Chicxulub meteorite.
Yeah.
Can we? To be fair though, as much as I can praise Elon Musk for trying to do this, I think one of the problems is our method of transportation. Strapping someone to the tip of a giant metallic tube and putting a
Yeah.
bunch of explosives in it and firing the explosives at the back to launch them into space.
Yep.
We got to figure out, I don't know, man, some kind of anti-grav or whatever.
What was the you were telling me about the Virgin plane?
Oh, they tried doing orbit through Virgin Orbit. What's it called, I think?
747 or something. It was like
Yeah.
attached to the top.
Then once they get as high as they can, they launch it, and
Yeah.
it didn't work because Elon Musk commented on it. And he said, orbit is hard. You know, it took us,
really
I think, 4
challenging,
tries.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
their first attempt. But that could be big. It could really lower the cost if Virgin can figure out how to get into orbit from just flying up.
Yeah.
It'd be like-
significantly cheaper then.
Yeah, but it's not even about that because like, jets. It's, you know, to be honest, I understand the achievement humans have made with like creating the jet turbine engine. These massive, you know, Rolls Royce things or whatever.
Yeah.
Can make a 200-ton object fly. It's impressive.
Yeah, it is.
But all we're really doing is like swimming. We
Okay.
need to manipulate some natural forces.
Okay.
Maybe it's a sci-fi pipe dream. Maybe,
So it's
maybe
like
not possible.
basically it's learning how to manipulate gravity. That would be the thing we need to figure out
because we're spending so much energy to get off the planet.
to escape gravity.
Right, and then
Yeah.
think about how long it takes to even get to Mars, and Mars is,
7 months.
and it's inhospitable.
God.
Yeah,
So what are we going to
exactly.
do? Somebody mentioned like firing 150,000 nukes at the ice caps to begin the terraformation process,
Huh.
and then it would still take decades to centuries.
And it would
of,
also
like,
irradiate all of that water.
well, their nukes are intentionally radioactive, so they could theoretically create bombs that don't create.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I believe there are some very, very, very powerful nuclear bombs that have no radioactive.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wow,
footprint.
today I learned.
Interesting.
Well, I'm not completely sure. I'm not an expert on nuclear weapons. I just did a segment one time for Discovery Channel.
Okay.
Awesome.
So it's like we looked at all these different weapons and their radiuses, radii.
Radii? Yeah.
Radii. And what we learned is that many of them are intentionally radioactive, so that you have physical destruction of resource followed by
The
fallout, yeah.
organic destruction of human beings.
That's a mess.
Yeah, but anyway,
Yeah, we're kind of getting sidetracked.
No,
here.
no,
But
maybe-
look at that.
no. I think this is an important conversation. Maybe we do irradiate Mars, and then for what? A couple decades, we're not going to be there. We're terraforming the planet. Maybe
Yeah.
Is it too cold though? Is the gravity too weak? Is there an atmosphere? Those are the problems.
There is a very thin atmosphere.
Can it
It's
sustain
not-
a real atmosphere?
The thing is, here's what no one's thinking about. Earth has a magnetic field. Mars lost that magnetic field a long time ago. Mars used to look like Earth. It had running water.
Wow.
We know this. So the magnetic field being gone, it's bombarded by all sorts of stuff from space that not the atmosphere or not, it doesn't have a magnetic field. So solar flares are going to hit Mars and just bombard it. Solar flares come at us, our magnetic field pushes it around us, and we don't feel that. We don't feel that at all. So it's
Well, we can see the auroras. That's cool.
right.
That's the result.
Well,
That is
Mars
yeah.
doesn't have auroras anymore,
Right.
because
bad.
it just gets hit.
So
Yeah.
then why go to Mars?
I mean, we can have a base there. We can,
Yeah, like biodomes.
yeah, I guess, it makes more sense to me to go to the moon, and maybe figure out a way
Moon
to
mining.
keep the moon at the same place, so it doesn't move away anymore.
Well, if we mine it
Mm-hmm.
and strip matter from it, would that?
I think it would fly away a little. Actually, that's a good point, because
Yeah.
if it was a little bit lighter, would Earth's gravity be able to maintain it better?
I don't know.
I mean,
But
it
how
would have
long-
to be a significant amount of material.
How long until the moon
To make a
flies away
difference.
from Earth?
Like a million years, 100 million years,
Yeah,
probably.
we'll be dead long
yeah.
before then if we don't get out.
Sure, that's true. But at the same time, it is moving away, and we don't know the effect. I mean, it affects our planet. When it was in the time of the dinosaurs, it was like 4,000 miles away from Earth.
It's massive in the
Whoa.
sky.
It was
right?
massive. It was crazy.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Imagine,
whoa.
imagine the water
Well,
being
hold on.
pulled as it spun around the Earth.
How far away is it now?
I don't know the exact
Oh, let me check.
the exact
Google it. All
distance.
right, because to understand the difference
Yeah.
of like why 4,000 is significant, you gotta know where it is now.
It is 238,900 miles
Wow.
away.
Yeah.
Do you imagine looking up and just seeing like it's like that Zelda game,
Yeah.
Majora's Mask, the
Mhm.
moon?
There'd be
no,
nothing but
At
moon.
night, it was as bright as day on the planet
Holy
Earth. So,
cow.
well, if it was a full moon, anyway.
That was when the moon first got formed. You're saying, or when?
When the dinosaurs were roaming the Earth. I
Oh,
don't.
right,
This is it was
300
formed
million
significantly longer before that, So, but when they were roaming, it was huge.
So when was that? 300 million years ago or something? That makes sense. We're talking about
60
Depends on
million,
the
I think.
period. Yeah.
60 million.
I don't know when.
That
Actually,
isn't-
I have the
don't-
Chicxulub.
I think we got to fact check this because think
Sure.
about it. How far away is the moon moving from Earth every year?
Like an inch and a half.
So, what's a million inches?
I don't know.
How
Hold
many
on one
miles
sec.
is a million inches?
Miles. Oh my gosh.
So divide it by 12, and then
I'm trying to find
5,000.
when Chicxulub
I don't think that
hit.
math adds up.
Oh, exponent.
Yeah, that's fine. I
exponents.
don't know. That's what I was saying. I don't know the exact math.
I don't think.
I'm just
I
kind
don't
of
think, I don't think it was
riffing off
4,000
the
miles when the
what I
dinosaurs
was.
were around.
I mean, we can find out.
Yeah, let's pull
It
it
was
up.
a lot closer though, right? I didn't know that. That's really interesting. Why
Yeah,
has it
let's
moved
see
away?
let's see the data.
All right. It's
That'd be
insane.
cool though if like the tide, it was like an interstellar where,
Yeah.
where the tide was a gigantic like 300-foot wall coming in. That would not be. Maybe that would be fun. I don't know. I have to
I'm
think
sure
about it.
surfers would be like, yes.
Yeah, but they were standing in like 2 feet of water, so like you'd ride to the top and fall to your death.
That's a good point.
That'd be very exciting.
And you're on this planet, and it's like every hour there is 7 years on Earth. Were you able to find it?
Okay, so it was 4,000 miles closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes
okay.
way more
Right now,
sense.
it's 240,000 miles away.
Yeah.
So it was bigger though, for sure. Bigger in the sky.
Yeah.
Had
It was
more-
2% bigger.
2%? Really? That's it?
No, I don't know what this is actually. This is just a random answer I'm
Questionable.
finding, but
Let
But
me
it
see.
would have a noticeable effect on everything else. So I
really
mean,
find that.
yeah. What happens when the moon finally just breaks away and leaves? Goes off to
Well,
its own
the
thing?
tides stop.
Yeah.
That's going to be a problem.
So, I mean, that's a big part of our planet is the tides. Think about it. It shifts the whole ocean
Yeah. The
as
water.
it
The water
spins
goes
around.
around.
Yeah, it
with the
stays
moon.
wherever the moon is. That's where the tides are.
That's crazy.
And that moves our entire planet of water. And us. We're
Look,
made of water. You know,
here-
we've taught that. It's like we're like 75% water or something, human beings.
Yeah, something like that. Let's deal with
We're
the real
all
problem,
lunatics.
man. The real problem is everything we're doing now is cute.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll build a biodome on Mars, but is it really going to be a sustainable, functioning habitat where humans grow and flourish? And if the Earth gets blown up for whatever reason, are the Martians going to be able to do anything, or are they going to be dependent upon Earth?
Still
What we really got to
possibly.
talk about is we need faster travel, we need better propulsion, we need better energy efficiency,
Truth.
and we need to terraform a planet and get a magnetic field going.
I don't know if we can do that.
Yeah, what do we do? Do we like drill to the center of Mars and nuke the core like in that movie? Remember the movie? Yeah, the core. That's what it was called.
The core?
The
Oh my
core. Like the
gosh.
Earth's core was stopping, so they launched a bunch of nukes to make it spin again.
Well,
Seems like
there's
that
no
would work.
guarantee that would work, you know.
That's a movie.
Yeah, I don't
No,
think
no,
that
I'm-
would work.
We need liquid. It needs liquid iron, and I don't know if what's in the middle of Mars, but I know Earth has liquid iron in our core, and that's why we have a magnetic
generate
field.
a force field
Yeah,
to keep out all those nasty particles and radiation, whatnot.
yeah, we need that.
So then it's right now. If we're talking about launching rockets into space to colonize things, it does seem like a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need to start working on those Tic Tac UFO ships everybody keeps talking about. Maybe we need to build that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Unless we could also figure out better cryogenics,
Yeah.
suspended animation.
I'm
Nobody's
trying to
even
find
working on
this.
that.
So then what we do
information.
is there's so much crazy stuff we got to talk about, man. Check it out. If we built a big space station and a Mars and a moon base,
Okay.
and then used those to create a massive vessel in space, because it'd be very, very difficult to get a very large vehicle off of the Earth.
Right.
You build it in space, right? You put people in suspended animation, and then you kick them off to Alpha Centauri or some, who knows where. You calculate everything, and you cross your fingers that nothing knocks you off course, and it might. And then you're heading in suspended animation for 1,000 years to make it to this new planet where humans will land in a ship, and you're with like several hundred people, and that's it. That's life. And in those 1,000 years, while you're all frozen, a new vessel developed on Earth whizzes right past you, and they point and they're like, "Look, wow!" And then they beat you there, and then finally you wake up as a new planet, and there's cities, and it's the same exact problems: global warming and
Yeah.
like overpopulation.
That's pretty funny.
That
And
could
you're
be
like,
it,
"We
yeah.
should have just waited." No, you
That
would've been
sounds like
dead.
a really good book premise that you just
Yeah, that sounds
gave to
fantastic.
whoever out there is out there like,
man.
I needed a new idea.
Yeah.
That's pretty good though. I like it.
It's one of the perceived problems with space travel that right now we're doing all these things where we're going to rocket to Mars.
Mm-hmm.
But in 50 years, we might have developed anti-grav. Maybe in 100 years, who knows?
Yeah.
And so then all of the work being done to go these long distances is just completely made obsolete
Yeah.
by better technology.
Or we just figure out how to step into the fourth dimension.
Like,
Yeah, there you go.
Walk over and enter back in
Yeah.
a different spot.
Yep.
You know, that makes more sense.
Yep. Warping space-time.
Yep.
And it might seem impossible to us now, but we've done such amazing feats with
Yep.
manipulating reality already. So imagining like what is it? Voyager is the satellite that like exited the solar system.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Voyager 1 and 2.
I'm imagining we're like, we're all going like, wow, it finally left. And then in 100 years, you can like drive up to it and be like, there it is.
Look, Voyager.
And there's like a security detail.
Yeah.
And it's like you wake up at, you go back to Earth because you can travel at ridiculous speeds. And you wake up, it's like a 10-minute commute. You're like, oh, I do security for the Voyager as it travels.
Yeah.
It's like a 10-minute drive, and then I
That's
just
funny.
basically get
Short
stationed
commute.
next to it because you don't want anyone messing with it.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's your job. And people are coming and taking pictures. Like, could you imagine? So the other thing is time dilation.
Right. The faster you go, the slower time is.
So will people on Mars, because there's a lot to consider here. Mars is less dense. There's less gravity. So
it's much smaller.
would that mean they would experience time going faster than we would or slower?
If it's smaller?
Yeah, I don't know. The Earth, the Mars day is different than the Earth day.
That has nothing to do with
No?
what I'm talking about. So time dilation is like if the faster you go, the slower time goes.
Right.
So we need to consider a couple things. The speed of the planet Mars compared to the speed of the planet Earth.
That's what I was just referencing.
I'm not talking about days, though. I'm talking about the actual kilometers per hour the planet is actually moving.
Okay.
So they did this experiment.
Specifics.
I think they did this. They took two stopwatches and they put one in like a mock jet and one on a table.
Okay.
And they had it zoom around as fast as it could.
Cool.
And it came back and they had different times when it landed.
Huh.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I could be wrong about that. This is not news. This is me reading fun stuff on the internet. Mind you, fact check me. But the general idea
I want to
is
know about that, though. That sounds
Yeah,
cool.
the
Fascinating.
faster you go,
Right.
time slows down from
Well,
your perspective.
That is true, though, actually. I was watching the Scott Kelly documentary because he went up and spent, it wasn't a full year, it was like 348 days or something
Yeah.
in space. And he has a twin. And they came out and he's like, haha, I'm a little bit old. I'm a little younger than my
Well,
twin now.
So think about it this way. Can you look up the speed Earth is traveling around the sun and the speed Mars is traveling around the sun?
Okay.
And while you're doing that, the general idea is if you live on Mars and Mars is traveling less than the speed of Earth,
Okay.
then you would be moving slower and experience time faster than the people on Earth would.
Yep.
Unless Earth is traveling faster. So if like Earth is going like 100,000 kilometers an hour, Mars is going 75, then you're traveling at different speeds. You will experience time differently.
So you get old on Mars.
Well, you would perceive time the exact same, but you'd like look to Earth and people would be going like zip, 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 like moving around all fast, and you'd be like, so weird. So then think about, unfortunately, why Star Trek is impossible. And this really bummed me out when I read about this. When they travel faster than the speed of light, arguably you could say they could get to Alpha Colony, whatever, and it's like a Federation outpost, and everyone there is like, you're supposed to be here in 2 weeks, and you're like, I'll be there in 2 weeks, and then you get there and you're at warp 9, and you get there in 2 weeks, and it's like it's been 2 weeks and now you're here. That would just not be how things happen.
right.
Because Earth is traveling way different speeds from whatever that starbase is. It could literally be like the starbase is moving 0 and the Earth is moving, so like you're in different spaces in time.
Well, the whole thing about Star Trek, though, is when they went to warp, there was a warp field around their ship
Right.
that prevented time dilation.
But what I mean is,
Right?
like, you're yes, you're
okay,
correct.
I thought so.
But what I'm saying is, if Mars is traveling at X kilometers an hour and Earth is traveling Y, then the people living there would both experience time at different rates
Right.
to each other. So then, like if you were traveling from Earth to Mars, they would perceive it as taking longer or shorter or whatever until you met up with them and then synchronized with their speed.
So I wanna bring it back to the reason why we need to get back into space. Where's this article that shows the path? So there was this, the tiny one, right?
No,
Yeah.
No?
Is that
here
it?
here it
That's
is.
I think.
So I want you guys to see
That's-
how
this,
close.
That's the best we have right here.
This one here.
No, scroll down. I
Okay.
think-
So this is, if you can see right here, this is the little one that came, and this is Earth. So it came within 4,000 miles of Earth. That is incredibly close. Now, it was only like, I don't know, what was it, 20 feet wide or something? So
Yeah.
you're right, it would have burned up in our atmosphere, but they found it hours ahead. So what I'm saying is we need to be able to handle this kind of thing if it is the next Chicxulub that's going to hit us. And just back in 1998, there was that one that was 4 miles wide, or that could have been 4 miles.
And-
They don't know exactly the size of it.
Then maybe what we should be doing right now, first and foremost, before Mars, maybe Elon's wrong, moon base,
Yep.
Then we need gigantic space biodome, and we can have maybe we don't get cryogenics, right? Maybe you literally just have generations of families who live on a spaceship.
I think that's going to happen.
The problem with that is generations forget, and you will have by the third or fourth generation people who have never experienced Earth and know nothing about it.
Probably.
But if they ultimately,
The Belters. You've seen
right.
Expanse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
People that just grew up in the belt.
And
they
because-
got really long, really tall,
Yep.
because they don't have gravity. And then you go to
Limited
Earth,
gravity.
and they're just like, oh.
They can't move.
Right.
Yeah. I was reading about how we could do artificial gravity right now with just like a spinning ship like we often see.
Right.
It doesn't work. It does technically, but the reason I was reading is that it creates an angular force, which makes you feel you can get used to it, but you can feel a pull in a direction due to the rotation.
Oh.
It's not a downward force; it's an angular force.
Okay. I can see what you mean.
So it's spinning. So it makes people feel sick. You could probably get used to it, especially if you were born into it.
Sure you would.
And then you'd land on Earth and you'd be like, "Oh me,
Sea
like,
legs,
this
yeah.
is weird."
Yeah.
But not even that. Like your whole perception would be thrown
Yeah.
off. But then maybe that's it. Maybe we load up people on this massive biodome vessel, and then 12 generations later they finally make it to that planet.
Well, we got the Kobayashi Maru space tracking system.
Yeah,
This
what
is
is that?
this is the Space Force receives its Kobayashi Maru space tracking system. So this is something they're actually working on at the Space Force, is essentially tracking all interstellar objects that could potentially destroy us.
Kobayashi Maru.
It's kind of funny. The honor
It's from
to
Star Trek.
Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
Well, which is kind of weird because the Kobayashi Maru was unbeatable.
Right.
So
I know.
it was
that's-
it was to see what captains would do in an unwinnable situation. So
Yep.
it's kind of, I don't know. It's a little silly because it doesn't exactly fit the lore, but it's still good to know that they have this stuff that they're actually. This is, I think, one of the most important things we got to do is if they're like, that the movie. What is the movie with the thing coming to hit us?
Which one?
The asteroid coming to hit us. What was it? Apocalypse? No.
Oh, there's Deep Impact.
Deep Impact and then
Armageddon.
Armageddon, yeah.
Same movies basically.
So it's the same movies, but that's actually really a potential. Like we need to be able to handle that if it comes, because it's a possibility. Like things fly by our planet all the time.
Do you remember when I was talking with Joe about the Ark project leaving Venus and then coming to Earth and
Yeah.
terraforming it? Mm-hmm. And I think there's actually even a simpler way of explaining what the story could be. What if we were the children of the Ark project that wasn't a collapsing or dying planet?
Okay.
It's a planet, 1,000 light years away, that was like, we're going to load y'all up on a ship, have at it. And
Yeah.
what if the aliens...
A different solar system completely.
What if the aliens we see are actually just people?
Ooh,
Yeah.
interesting.
And so it's like, imagine this way. You've seen Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
So
Great
they
show.
actually end up on Earth in the end. Spoiler. So, I mean, at this point, if you haven't seen it, this is not since 20 years now. Amazing show.
I thought it was actually Earth, or
Yeah.
just an Earth-like planet that they found.
thought it was Earth.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
like
don't-
ancient Earth. I
I
thought
didn't
that was
think
the
it was
point.
Earth.
I thought it was. Maybe, whatever. The point
I
is,
don't know.
it relates to the idea anyway, right?
Does anybody know? Do you
Imagine
guys know what that is?
a very advanced civilization of humans
Okay.
that inhabit multiple planets, and then, or maybe even they don't. Let's say there's a planet somewhere far, far away, and people ask the questions about why it is our solar system is so perfect for us. Like, notably, how Jupiter keeps the asteroids away from crashing into the inner planets.
That does a really good job of that.
It's like a powerful filter. Mm-hmm. And some people think it's divine, that it's it's the work of the Lord.
Okay.
Some people think it's just probabilistic. Like, of course we're here. We have a shield.
Yep.
What
Many shields. It's
Right.
not just Jupiter. There's many situations.
And what if it's an advanced race on a planet that was under constant bombardment, but humans still have developed? And they said, what if we could find a planet that was perfect? They did. They said that solar system is excellent for a colony.
Yep.
And let's say they had technology slightly better than ours, so they created a massive vessel. They called it the Ark, loaded everybody up, carry on, and they launched them out. And then when that ship finally got here, those people had no idea what life used to be like for the past civilization.
Right, because it's been 1,000 years of flying through space,
Yep.
living in space, whatever,
Yep. So they come here and they have this, just like, the ship can't land on Earth because it doesn't have the ability to leave the planet. It was made in space. It stays in space.
Or maybe the ship was named Atlantis and then finally landed, and then that was like where everything came from. And then
Yeah.
finally, after millions of years, it just crumbled
Couple
away.
100,000 years.
A couple 100,000.
Wiped out,
millions.
erased.
Right.
But now, like Joe was saying about Bob Lazar and all that stuff, us finding this ancient tech. That's why I brought it up. I'm like, what if it's ours? What if this ship just dropped this off? And the ship's coming around, and they were like, Unit 75. There's 3,000 of you. This will be your home. We'll never see you again. And then they just drop them off, and then the ship keeps going. Because think about what we would do. What if we made a big ship with thousands of people on it? Would we just stop at one planet, or would it make several stops, dropping 1,000 people on each planet that is deemed habitable with some resources?
Seeding the universe. Yeah.
Yep. So that humans never go extinct. What if we are the attempt not to go extinct? That'd be crazy.
That's crazy.
How much fun is that? Should we go to super?
I think it's great.
I love it.
Should we now jump over to super chats then?
Yeah, let's go to super chats.
Oh yeah, space talk. Now we're going to read super chats, which at first is going to be a lot of first. So we do things kind of in a first come first serve way, just because that's the order in which they come in. So the first comments
lots
we
of
read
funny stuff
are from the other hour of politics, and then we're going to eventually get into the space
politics.
We're
Our
Joe
first,
Biden farting.
yeah. I don't know how political that was. It was pretty political,
I don't
but
know.
stuff. See, look at that.
The
Battlestar ended
humorous
on
side.
Earth.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
did. It did end on Earth. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Interesting.
But if you haven't already, smash that like button, or just give it a little tap on your phone.
A love tap, if you will.
Because what you're doing when you do that is you're telling YouTube that we are better than everyone else.
Yes. Of course we are.
So it really does help. And make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Timcast. Post complaints about culture and politics and skateboarding. You can follow Adam
Yeah, you can follow me too. There I am.
at Adam Krigler. But more importantly, Adam puts up posts where you can actually send him story ideas. So
Yep.
if you want to have us talk about something, we very often do. And then, of course, if you would like some spicy memes, we have Sour Patch Lids.
Spicy memes.
That's me, and I do. I have the best memes, frankly. Everyone agrees.
LYDS.
Everyone
Spicy
agrees.
political
They're
memes.
the best memes.
There was one today about Joe Rogan being the president.
It was the best meme.
And,
It's pretty good.
Who was his VP?
Marshall, his dog.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. Kanye was his VP.
Kanye.
Yeah.
Marshall
Kanye.
was in the picture.
Marshall.
The cutest.
Oh man! All right, now we're gonna read your super chat. So if you want to get in, feel free to do so. But I must warn everybody, as per usual, it is very difficult for us to read every single super chat because it's just too many super chats. So as much as I love and respect everybody for helping us out, supporting the channel, and asking your questions, it usually comes to a point where we have to skip over smaller super chats. For that, I apologize. It's just the best way we can do it, I suppose. And now Adam will.
I'm gonna get the super chats going here.
He's gonna spin
Yeah.
the UFO.
There we go.
Yes. Considering we opened with a story about Joe Biden farting, we have none other than IB Rippenham.
Oh,
who says,
classic.
Yes, perfect.
He says, I haven't been able to fart for the last couple of lives. Live? Please forgive me, guys. I hope we can still be friends.
I
Joe
want
Biden's
to.
doing
You know
it
what?
for ya.
I want to dedicate the first segment to you, IB Rippenham,
Yeah, that's fair.
because you're consistent.
I like that.
and I appreciate you. You be ripping them.
Yep.
But Joe Biden got your back.
Yes.
You weren't able to do it. He got
And
you.
Eric Swalwell.
And Swalwell.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah. Those are very,
Trailblazing.
very, very honorable
Indeed.
of them to do this for us. IB then says, help, they suspended my right to fartius corpus.
Oh no.
No.
It'll be
Dave-
fine.
David says, hey guys, have you checked the Eurovision songs yet? Also, what is the best karaoke song for someone who can't sing at all? Asking for a friend. I have no idea.
I did check the Eurovision songs.
I haven't. No.
Take
Yeah.
on Me by Aha.
Yes.
I gotta do it.
What?
Check them out.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
People
right,
have sent me random different songs too.
Yeah.
So I gotta check them out.
This one right here. Grim Soul Banisher says, Obamacare still hurts. My insurance isn't accepted because of Cali policy due to Obamacare. The hospital wants 65% up front for my daughter's surgery. I recently was trying to call a local, what is it called? I don't know.
GP,
anything.
general practitioner.
General practitioner,
Yeah.
and they told me, like, we can't accept your insurance. And I was like, what do I do? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like,
Excuse me?
Who do I call? You're the one who's near my house. And they were like, I'm sorry, we can't help you. And I said, why? And they said, Obamacare.
Are you serious?
Wow.
And I was like, what? And I was like, this is the closest, general practitioner to my house. It's like, I haven't been for a physical or any kind of checkup in a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, can't help you. That made me angry. And I said, okay, if I get rid of my insurance, am I good? And they go, oh, absolutely. And I was like, are you seriously? If I get rid of my insurance, then I can come to you? Yes. And I said, okay, I'll do it right now. No, it takes 2 months.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Of course it does.
Can't you
Wow,
just
man.
not use your insurance?
Nope.
Or it has to
I
go
asked
through
that.
their
I said,
system?
I was like, what, like I'm talking about a physical, man. I'm talking about coming in. I'm 34. I haven't been to a doctor in a long time.
Yeah.
And they were like, nope, you're in a database
Wow.
with
Oh.
with Obamacare. And the first thing we do, regardless of how you want to pay, is we look it up. And I was like, are you serious? It's like, I can't even just come in and be like, yo, doc, what up?
That made me so mad.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yep. Kyle Buchanan says, I live in a town where the city manager got a $25K bonus and then he laid off half of the firefighters in EMS. Don't you
What?
love people like that? It's great, isn't it?
Agreed.
Grim Soul Banisher says, also $2 to spin it. Love you guys. Well, Adam did.
We got it.
I gotta
think we
gotta
got
spin
it.
it a little bit for him. He
Sean-
did pay.
Sean Turek says, I'm late to the party. Where did you get the UFO? In an Instagram advertisement.
There's a
That's
little
it.
$2 spin there.
There you go.
It's an expensive lamp, to be honest.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's a couple $100.
It's pretty
Is
cool.
it really? I thought it was a little bit less.
It's grown on
I don't
me.
know.
I thought it was like
maybe?
$80.
Was it?
Yeah, that's what I thought. 'Cause
Okay,
I ended
maybe.
up looking it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, there you go.
Yeah,
I
just
guess I was
Google
wrong.
it. Yeah, I can Google it.
Unless I got ripped off on Instagram.
That's always possible.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Sucker.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, it happens.
Dude, I buy stuff on Instagram all the time.
I do too. It's terrible.
I bought these things.
I refuse.
They're
it's
they're
smart.
they're spring knee braces
Okay.
that they're like knee pads but backwards.
I've seen that ad,
And I'm like, right.
and
So
I actually saw a report saying they're BS,
Yep.
and they
Correct.
don't do anything.
hurt.
Yep.
They hurt.
Yeah, they
All they
hurt.
do is hurt.
I bought them like I'm gonna put these on my
Oh,
knees.
that's funny.
And then when I'm skating,
Okay.
it'll absorb some of the impact,
yeah.
right? Nope.
Nope.
It actually made it way worse.
Ah.
Yeah, so I took them off. I'm like, this is garbage.
Yep.
But they actually do have knee braces that actually do help. It's not the springs in the back; it's the side bars that provide resistance. And they're not really for sports. It's for if you have weak knees and you need
some help.
support. And so those are just medical devices. So I'm like, I'm not going to wear a gigantic knee brace with bars mounted on the side. I was thinking like, I'm imagining in my head, like, you know, like Iron Man. And I've got like these things. And I'm like, yeah, I can jump really high. And I'm like, yeah, it's
be
going to be
so
so awesome. And it was
cool.
$20. And I get them. They're made of plastic and like a
Like, yep,
spring.
no.
And I'm
Yep.
like, what is this?
Aw.
They got your $20.
They did.
sure
That's
did.
all they
it
wanted.
reminds me of the kids, like in those old stories where like they have the comic book in the 50s. In the back, it's like X-ray specs.
Yep.
And then they mail in, you know, a quarter or something, and
Yeah.
they get them, and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
they don't do anything.
Yep, that happens to every kid, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, not ordering out of the back of a magazine, but let's see. David says, about to be 34, too old to get back on the longboard. Also moved to Syracuse, reopened our super mall. Amazon is here. Drone Technology Central.
It is not too old.
Yeah.
Not at all. Just go
We skate,
to a store and figure it out. Find a board that's comfortable. Learn your balance on it, and you're good.
We've been skating like every day.
Yep.
And we had a session today, and it was one of the worst I've ever had.
For you.
Oh,
For
me.
gosh.
I witnessed this. It was terrible.
Let me tell a story.
What's
I've been
the
skating for
story?
20 years. Oh, man. This
Wait.
never happened to me.
Whoa,
Here we
whoa,
go.
whoa, whoa! That's not true. It happened last week.
No.
Okay, this
Last week
severe. Sure.
was like a warning.
Oh, no.
Yeah, your board warned you. Like, don't do that.
I've been skating for 20 years, and I've never got nutted before.
Oh.
And so last week I was skating, and I got a light flick.
Yeah.
Like I did a trick, I fell, and it popped up, and I was like, oh, man. Kept skating.
Yeah.
Today, no.
No, you were done.
Knocked him out.
Today was nollie 360 flip, and I did.
Wait. We can do this here.
Oh, yeah, let's
Ready?
demonstrate this.
Here's his legs. Okay. I'm just gonna do the landing. All right. So he lands 1 foot there, 1 foot on the tail, and it popped the board right
With
into the
full
goods.
force, all my weight,
Oh yeah.
slamming.
I
and
watched it.
boom.
I saw you crumble. I've never
Everything-
seen you crumble before.
Everything turned black.
Horrible.
Like the way I described it was my vision. All of a sudden, everything was like covered in a sheet of plastic. That's how it felt.
Wow.
Like it was like seeing stars, like literally. And then I was just like, Adam, get my stuff. And then I just like hobbled to the house, and I just fell down on the carpet, and I went,
I was like, Tim, are you okay?
dude, it hurt for like an hour.
Oh, my gosh. I
Yeah.
was surprised you didn't yell.
You have to pay your dues.
It was worse than getting credit carded, which is the classic, like, you know, you're doing a trick down the rail and the board and you land like that. That actually happened to me.
But that's a chode shot.
What, a chode shot? I've never
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
of
yeah.
that before.
It's like,
No, it's getting credit carded.
right, getting credit carded isn't like getting whacked in the nuts.
Okay.
Sometimes it is. It can
No,
be really bad.
that is significantly worse.
Yeah.
Can we get an? Oh, look at the F.
Look at all the F's.
Thank
no
you,
more
chat.
cool babies.
Thank you.
Thank you, chat.
Dude, it was
Gotta
brutal.
respect the chat.
Let me tell you, man.
Babies.
That was the worst pain I'd ever experienced. It was a full force, my entire body weight. What you got to understand is when you're jumping, you're not it's not your body weight coming down. It's more than that. When you're snapping the board up, and then all of your weight goes on the board, that weight redirects straight
Momentum,
up.
yeah.
It was like a 200-pound force kick. Boom! And I was like, smack. Time slowed down, and I heard like,
Hold on. Excuse me. I gotta put an F in chat for you.
I
Yeah,
heard
I need
beautiful
to.
Okay.
arpeggiated
Please
opera music.
continue. Continue
going
on.
to
I,
heaven.
it was slow motion as I saw it coming up, and I hear like opera music, and it's like, and I'm like, oh god, boom! It could have been. I wish
Hey,
we filmed it, bro.
At least they didn't explode.
We
All right, and you
this,
didn't. You're not bleeding.
This is why we need a filmer.
Yeah,
Because I would have put it on Instagram immediately. It'd be
Man.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I fell over. I was like, and then I came inside, and I just sat on the couch and watched Cowboy Bebop for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my eyes are half glazed, and I'm like, I don't think I can. I have to keep my legs open. Like, that was brutal. That was brutal.
It was such a good session too. Oh man, I was
I-
bummed because we were rocking it. We both. See,
I broke
he
my
makes
board.
me level up every day. He's like, "Oh, what new trick you got, Adam? What new trick you got?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
I don't know.
So
But I keep trying.
I broke my board warming up.
Yep.
Really annoying,
Should've
brand
been
new
a
board.
sign.
I've never broken a board before
Should
either.
have been a sign.
You listening to that?
I know.
She's got a point.
I've only ever broken one board before, and it was always kick flipping off big gaps.
But it was a brand new board though.
Brand-
That's weird.
You know what? They could have sent me a bunk board. It's really
yeah,
that simple.
that's honestly, I
So,
think that's what it was because
I tried
that's
to-
that's weird.
I did a switch kick flip, landed on the nose, and it cracked. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So then I'm like trying to switch out boards, trying to figure out what board works because I actually have like we have one fresh board and some backup boards.
Yeah, you needed a new board because that one's
Yeah.
too small for you.
Maybe I'll just put on that massive one, that vert one. No, I think
No, can you imagine if that happened when you because you
I-
thought about it. You
would've-
almost were
if
gonna
I
skate
did-
that bigger board,
if I did the bigger board, that wouldn't have happened at all. That's the thing.
or it would have hurt and you might have
No, that
blown
bigger, that
something
bigger
up.
board would not have hit me the way it did because it was too long.
All right.
Like I would have slipped out and probably hurt my arm or something.
yeah.
That's acceptable, you know. I mean, well,
dangerous.
breaking an arm is worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we were trying to have the session, and I'm trying to get up on the mini ramp. I'm using a new board now, and it's like trying to switch out.
He's asking if he's too old to skate, and I don't know if you're convincing him or not.
I don't
point
know,
I'm
you're not
making
really
right now-
selling it.
The point I'm making, the most important point is, it's a hilarious story, man. That's it. It's,
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
No, but to be
That's a good
honest-
story.
To be honest, you got to pay your dues.
You do.
You
Also
you gotta
true.
pay your dues.
Yeah.
Look, if
What-
you're gonna want to skate, if you've never been a skater, even if you
prepared.
skated in the past, you're gonna fall.
So here's the answer to your
Part of
question.
skating.
You're never too old to skate. Tony Hawk's in his 50s, and he still thrashes, dude. He's amazing. He's still one of the best skaters in the world, to be honest.
He still
It's
kills
crazy.
it. Yeah, he still kills it.
And you know what, man? You need to be prepared that you will get a full force nut shot with the most excruciating pain you've ever
Oh.
felt, and you'll be rolling around on the ground, and that is the dues you pay to skateboarding.
That's
It
not
is the
necessarily
price.
true.
It is the
Once in
price.
20
He's
years.
getting a
Once in
longboard.
20 years.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
kidding,
not.
I'm
He's not
kidding.
doing
I don't
flip
see
tricks.
it.
Yeah.
Look,
And
go,
you know-
when
you know-
when the thing opens up, when everything opens up, go to a skate shop, try all the longboards out, find the one that you both like and is comfortable. Done.
You know what the worst part of it was? I should have just landed the trick.
Yeah, well, dude, what's wrong with you?
It's a new board, and so Adam's
Second
learning. Adam's almost landing tray flips.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
And so I'm just like getting my feet like warmed up on a new board. So I tried to do a nollie tray flip, which is off the nose instead of the tail. And the first couple flipped pretty well. And then this last one, it flipped perfectly. I could have just put my feet on it, rolled away, but I was like, it didn't feel right,
Yep.
and that was it. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we'll move on from this glorious story. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll read
Glorious
more.
indeed.
Kyle says, Adam, if you want to stream, do Witcher 3. The first two games are PC only.
Oh,
it is the
okay.
best game I have ever played. Lydia, stay beautiful.
Oh,
Tim,
wow.
harumph.
That's a pretty bold statement. Best game you've ever played. You know, you're not the first person to tell me Witcher 3, and I actually did a tweet the other day about which game should I play. And over 150 people commented with all these different games, and it's like, how do I choose?
You gotta make a poll,
Yeah.
dude. Well, then you can only have like two
yeah,
choices.
Yeah, well, or 4 at the
Yeah,
max, right?
I think so.
But although a lot of people were doing a bunch of games, but Witcher 3 was one of the ones that many people put.
heard
So
good
that
things.
might be on the poll. Who knows?
Do it to it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Let's see where we're at. King Canuck says, have some Trudeau bucks. Waiting on my harumph shirt. Please release your songs as individual videos on this channel. I'd love to listen to them easier. I accidentally made Tim in GTA 5 online. Awesome.
Fun.
We're gonna make a new channel for all this stuff.
Yep.
Because I think,
Skating.
yeah, the lockdown really messed everything up. But I'm trying to find a building, but buildings are so out. Their prices are way higher than actual houses. Like
Yeah.
it's easier to buy a mansion than it is a warehouse. Like you can get a warehouse.
But we can't skate indoors in a mansion,
You
can we?
can.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, mini ramp at least.
All right.
Like
all
I've
right.
seen some of these houses. I'm like, you could put a mini ramp in that master bedroom. The ceilings are like 12,
Oh,
16
yeah,
feet high.
18 feet. Ridiculous.
And so,
We could put a mini ramp in this room.
but these houses have massive like lawns. You know, you have like a 2-acre property.
Yeah.
You can build a mini ramp out in the backyard. So I'm looking for a warehouse because I'm trying to invest in starting new companies, doing fact checking and stuff, and you can find twice the size, half the price if it's a house. And I'm like, okay, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why would I? I don't got the money to waste.
Word.
We'll see what happens. Let's see. California says, you and Luke should do a show together. We've done a ton of stuff together, actually. But Luke travels around all the time. He's always trying to get me to travel. St. Grizzly says, I watched you say, harumph I say. So I popularized that phrase by asking for a t-shirt with that quote in it. I'm so proud of this community. P.S. The Grizzly is an imposter. I'm the real St. Grizzly, LOL. I appreciate you asking for the shirt because then it ended up happening.
Bam.
Yeah,
As-
man.
Now it's a thing.
STFU says, redux or resits on ducks. TY, tip your waitress. Also, I'll point out, we may actually be able to sell skateboards directly through the YouTube store.
Ooh, I know we gotta make sure they're good boards though.
Yeah.
We got to do a product test where we actually get sent a sample, skate on it. If it's good enough, then we put graphics on them. The only issue with it is that if they're going through the YouTube store, they sell, I think, for $60.
That's about the price of a board.
Right, a pro model. But you can get some pro models for like 55.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then you get grip. So it's going to be a
but
little.
they don't have our graphics though.
Right.
Uh-huh.
The other
Uh-huh.
issue is, if we were going to actually run everything, we could probably get the price down, but then it would require hiring someone, and it's like
Yeah.
having it automated.
And I want to get. I don't know if it's American made or not. Is it? Do you know?
I'll make sure.
Yeah.
I do not want to buy Chinese skateboards, man.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
I know people who would do bulk orders because they're
Mhm.
so cheap, and they are flimsy and they flop out.
Yep.
And they just lie and they tell you it's like it's fake, dude. It is.
Exactly.
But the problem is a lot of these companies send their wood to China to be manufactured and bring it back and then claim it's an American board.
Right.
So you just got to be careful.
It's cheap.
Yeah. American made, man. Aaron M says, hey guys, watching from Hong Kong while I still can. Would love to hear your take on the way Hong Kongers are fighting for their freedoms, while Americans seem content to throw theirs in the gutter due to a 0.02% death chance. I'm fighting a sneeze, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good point. And yeah, what's going on in Hong Kong? We should talk about it.
I mean, we're not going up against the Chinese Communist Party, sort of.
Right.
We kind of are in some respects, but
Yeah.
not the way they are. And so I can understand their fighting, but we got to understand about what's going on in the United States. In the end, there's going to be a ton of lawsuits, and
Yeah.
we're probably going to win them all.
Yeah, that's true.
The freedom-minded people are going to win them all. These governors aren't going to get reelected. So a lot of us still have faith that although things are kind of broken for a lot of reasons,
Everyone's sees that it's broken and they're fighting for it now.
Yeah.
well, we kind of squeak by enough to where Americans don't freak out. Like if the
Okay.
Chinese Communist Party started sending in police to, people in this country would go insane.
Yeah, true.
People already are getting heated over what's happening now.
It's true.
So I don't know enough about what's going on in Hong Kong in recent history, like in the past month or so, to actually comment, though, unfortunately. The Cobra says, the Secret Service isn't allowed to yell "get down" anymore when the president is about to be attacked. Now they have to yell "Donald Duck."
I love it.
Zing.
Love it.
Chuck Moore says, can vegans even fart? That's why he's proud.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
I totally
You
can.
give-
Are you
give him-
serious?
You give him cheese.
Give
No,
him a
no,
little
no,
cheese and
no,
watch
no,
him
no.
go.
That just makes it smell bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
all the time. It's a normal
everybody
person.
farts. Humans fart. Animals farts. Come on.
Here we go, look at
Everybody
it.
farts.
Octorian says, was going to see if you've heard Tulsi lawsuit drop, but you beat me to it.
Mm-hmm.
While filling this out, here's to Hillary sidestepping democracy.
Ooh. Yeah.
That's
Dude,
what she's doing.
I kind of wanted to
She's
do
doing
it.
a little sidestep around everything.
I would be so excited if that's what she actually did.
I see it coming, man. It's happening.
Could this year
It's
get
happening
any
in
better?
front of our eyes.
I was talking to somebody who's like right wing,
Mhm.
and they said they were going to vote for Joe Biden, and I was like, "What?" And they were like, "Dude, chaos, man! It's going to be hilarious." And I'm like,
Man.
"But they people vote. A lot of people voted in 2016 for Trump, thinking it was going to be chaos, and
Yeah.
then he created this
Sure
well-oiled
was.
economy."
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't really get what you want. I guess now they're probably happy because everything fell apart. Student of history said, "Hey Tim, heads up! Hong Kong is about to get lively again. HK's officially reached the line of freedom or tyranny." Yes, so
true.
I've been hearing a little bit about it, so we'll keep an eye on it. Jean McLeod says, "Lydia, did you get the message through Twitter I sent you? I think Tim Pool patches would be cool. Please show Tim and Adam."
I did. I will
Cool.
show them as soon as I have a chance. I'll pull it up for them.
And surprisingly, the beanies are harder to get than the skateboards.
Man, this guy, if they could only get me back.
Yeah.
I want the two-tone beanie. It's so hard
Yeah.
to get. But they're not doing custom beanies right now. So
Because of the lockdown.
hopefully they'll change their tune.
Right on. Let's see. Messis1 says, fundraiser idea. Lydia Bathwater for all the simps in the chat. Oof.
I don't take baths, so nope.
Do you make candles?
That you know that
Not
chick that was doing
happening.
I'm
that
just kidding.
was selling her bathwater.
Yeah. What was her
Oh,
name?
really?
Belle
That's
Delphine?
a thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
What was her name?
gosh.
Belle Delphine.
Yeah, I think so.
Ugh.
Didn't Madonna try doing that too?
Oh.
No, she just took the bath picture and
Oh,
was
okay.
generally horrible in other ways.
No.
Not gonna happen. Tim says no.
Yikes.
I says no.
Code Red says Fartgate 2 Biden Boogaloo. Love you guys. Appreciate it.
Nice.
Yes.
Got a good
Okay.
flow to it.
From Casey Bryant. Hey, I don't want to go on the cesspool that is Twitter. What was that dude that is bullying all the FA-18s for a private company? What is this? I worked on those for 9 years in the Marines. Sounds like a decent job.
Oh, the guy with his private Air Force.
Oh,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
in
right.
Just
Illinois
gotta Google it.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Buying.
He was buying. Yeah.
What is it?
Right.
Buying.
His name.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. It was like a month ago. We
I don't know.
did that.
Yeah.
Well,
segment.
you don't got to go on Twitter. You can Google it. There's a bunch of articles about him.
Yep.
His private Air Force.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Jeremiah says people should try out Varusteleka, an online company in Finland. All of their surplus goodness. Also, Shaka Cola is cheap as heck from them.
Huh.
Is this considered a paid promotion for you, Tim? It is not.
No.
Michael Adams says, hey, folks, just wanted to say, as a truck driver that travels everywhere except California, I haven't seen any crazy progressive political nonsense anywhere except the internet. For sure.
Well, that's where it mostly exists.
Yeah.
But it's because all of the 1-2 people from all these different cities online come together and form that community
Yep.
that doesn't exist in the real world.
Yeah.
But I've
goodness.
seen it, man. I've seen it in a lot of places for sure. It's like if you're in the weeds, Mr. Ordgar says if 2 guys were on the moon and one killed the other with a rock, would that be effed up or what? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would be effed up no matter where it
Anywhere,
happened.
yeah.
Indeed, it would.
Justin 4 says, Canada update. The RCMP says that any guns made prohibited by the OIC were effective on May 1st. If I were to take a gun to the range today and I charged for it, whoa, really?
Whoa.
Wow.
That's retroactive.
Yeah. Wow.
That's nuts.
Winterwalker says, sounds like there's some looting and rioting happening in Minneapolis right now.
Yes, there is.
Yep, of course there is.
People are pissed.
Flashbangs.
Yep. STFU says, hey, Adam, read Seven Eyes by Stevenson. Brilliant sci-fi that if you love Sanderson or Jordan, you'll love. Also read William Gibson Neuromancer.
Can you write that down for me?
I got it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Kyle Miller-
I love Jordan and Sanderson, so I'll probably love those books. Appreciate you.
Kyle Miller says SJWs would try to force diversity quotas if we start colonizing other planets rather than be by merit.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be one of the biggest problems.
100%.
Kyle Harmon says Joe Biden be ripping them.
Yes.
Yep. Brixton says never trust a fart.
Nope.
Alex Aiello says you got me watching more left media. I'm surprised by how much some of them hate you. Crystal Ball is the best out of most of the suggestions.
Yes.
Hate Vosh. Why do they really talk about me? I'd be surprised if they even talk about me. STFU says the shart heard round the world.
Indeed.
I'm not giving my name to a machine. Says with people losing their minds after 2 months of lockdown, do you think people could make the 6-month flight to Mars? In lockdown, at least we can still go outside. They could.
Definitely.
It's going to be selected people who are like,
Trained.
Mentally
yeah,
strong.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. And couples.
Right.
Yeah, so they want couples to go. So it's going to be with your significant other.
On a mission.
I mean, the two astronauts today that were flying are both married to astronauts.
But not to each other.
No, they're not
Yeah.
married to each other, but they're both married to astronauts who have also
That's
flown
cool.
and gone to the ISS. So
Very cool.
they've seen their spouses fly up in a rocket too. It's pretty interesting.
I understand.
Mark O'Brien says, when you fart in public, the appropriate response is to look behind you and say, yes, sir, I'll get right on that. Then continue on with the conversation.
That's a wonderful response.
I love that. I'm adopting that. Thank you.
Yes, sir, I'll get right on
Who is that? Eggman?
Yeah. No, Mark O'Brien.
Mark
Yeah,
O'Brien.
yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
Love
Eggman
it.
says, truth over facts, but not over farts. Joe, big braps Biden. Oh.
Braps. That's a good word for it.
no.
It was a brap.
Ah,
Nice.
stop, no.
Nice one,
Can't
No,
take
it
Eggman.
was like a
anymore.
flibble.
No, I love it. This is great.
a
Sorry, it
flibble?
was a flibble.
An old man fart.
Yeah, it was a
Flibble.
It was because it was
Yeah,
like
well,
there's
no, it was the slapping of the cheeks were
Oh.
prominent.
flibble. It was a flibble.
That's why it's a brap. Brap.
No, but
Brap,
Swalwell
brap,
was a
brap,
brap. You know,
Every time I think about that one,
they
it
tried
gets
lying
me.
about it. It's the craziest
So
thing. It's
that's
like,
what
dude.
makes it even funnier.
Nah,
It's
man,
like, oh, come on, own it.
Supreme Grandmaster Janice says, hey guys, I saw your part about Nicaea, and it's a bit wrong. The council was not about editing the Bible, but debating whether the Trinity is a thing. Interesting.
Okay.
Mumbling Bearded Freak says, Adam, why do you hate blue so much? Don't understand the dislike for counter spells when a removal when a removal spell don't allow you to play the game as well.
No. Listen. It's not that I don't like blue, or I don't hate blue. I have blue decks. I don't play solo blue, but this is, for those who don't know, this is a Magic the Gathering question. And I like everyone being able to play the game, and the meta that I've grown up around playing Magic, blue players tend to prevent that from happening. This is a question for me. And yeah, I like to play the game. So certain people I know like to play blue and stop you from doing stuff.
Everyone in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, your wife.
I know.
And Urza.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Poor Adam.
Here's the problem. It's that blue is the best.
You all need to make a deck that doesn't have blue in it.
I get it. Blue is the best.
It is the best. I know it is.
That's the problem.
It's too strong.
It's too good.
It's the problem with the function of the game.
Absolutely.
So
blue is too strong.
For those that aren't familiar, this is I guess you can call it a tabletop. It's a card game.
Yeah.
And they ban cards for a lot of reasons, but one of the principal reasons is that if people start using a single card in every single deck in every format, they're like, clearly that's too powerful.
Soul Ring.
Exactly. But
it should be banned.
I know.
From Commander.
Monocrypt.
Monocrypt for sure should be banned.
But then the problem is
Cyclonic Rift.
with Commander decks, it's gotta have.
That's right on the line, but it still should be banned.
With Commander decks, everybody plays blue.
I know.
Like, sure, I know there's
true.
a lot of red aggro, but it's like blue everything, because blue is just so strong.
Let's just ban blue.
Yeah. Paul Barnes says, what do you think of political elects in seat giving up privacy rights like military personnel give up free speech or body autonomy while in uniform? All bank accounts, interactions, and locations monitored. Maybe. I think at the top of my head, I see a good thing with it.
Yeah.
Really hard to take bribes, really hard to do nefarious things.
True.
Could you imagine if we could see like Ocasio-Cortez's bank account?
Yeah.
I bet a lot of people have a lot of questions.
That's true. In fact, all people in government, it makes sense.
That's kind of interesting.
But I'm sure there's some obvious setbacks we haven't thought of. So it's like you got to get past the surface level before you actually make those moves.
That's a good point.
Mr. Paul R says Lydia's red face heart says it all. Sean Davis says nailed it. I wrecked him. Biden. The Gray Gamer says Sean King is 2 shades darker than milk. Short hair and the fade with sunglasses and the puffy coat doesn't hide the fact that he's pretty white. Sean King, by his own story and everything, is actually whiter than I am. But everybody hates the guy.
Someone tweeted at me today, said, I was really disappointed at you. You didn't know who Sean King was.
Oh, no, trust me, you're better off.
I was like, well, right. I mean, I heard his name before.
You're way
I'm
better
sorry.
off.
I'm sorry. I have to interject. I was proud.
I'm
you
jealous.
Didn't know Sean King.
You were proud.
I was proud.
Very
I was
jealous.
Like, okay.
You should know that guy's name.
I have done my own thing for a long time. It's when I started this show that I've been, like, immersed in the world, basically.
Cancel culture nonsense.
Gah.
Yeah. Let's see. Broenstein says, every fictional story about Mars is invariably about independence. Should Mars be a new state or related to current powers? Not considering current promises to not colonize space. It should be completely independent, 100%.
There's actually a really interesting show called Mars, and it's half documentary, half show. It's really cool. They use actual facts and kind of really try to perceive what it will be when we do colonize Mars. And it's really interesting between, government, scientists, and private companies going to mine it. It's really interesting, and it covers a lot of that kind of stuff.
All right, let's see.
If you haven't checked it out, you should check it out. It's cool.
Mo Gravy says, hey, Tim, researchers in Italy are saying 86% of their COVID deaths are actually chlamydia pneumonia, solvable by, you guessed it, antibiotics. You can see that. Supreme Grandmaster Jenna says, continued, also at the council, St. Nicholas, yes, Santa Claus, got so angry and punched a heretic in the face.
Ooh, exciting.
Santa,
Love
what are you
it.
doing?
Yeah.
Chuck Morris says, Joe's wife is always right there. She said, not me. Let's see. Mumbling Bearded Freak says, YouTube is heavily censoring super chats. Oh, of course. There's so many words. New Normal says, your conservative internet theory is embarrassing. Pew Research states that 3% of America is using dial-up, and there are no statistically noticeable differences between rural, suburban, and urban. I completely agree that theory was 100% wrong. And actually, like a week after I went on Rogan, I basically corrected it and said, I think the issue is that the left isn't using the internet. They're spending more time at work surrounded by people and in close proximity to other people, whereas people who are in rural areas are spending more time online, which is probably why conservative outlets do really well in certain regards. But there's way more leftist outlets. I think ultimately it's not a strong theory regardless. But I think when you look at how the mainstream media opposes, for the most part, conservatives, it's like liberal bias.
Yeah.
That forces conservatives to seek out others on the internet, find better sources, and interact more, which results in them understanding memes, getting jokes, being more in the know. But that could be wrong too. I mean, these are just thoughts that come out. And that one was definitely wrong. I remember after the fact, I was like, I think Joe made a good point. I'm like, oh yeah, they're on their phones. And phones got LTE everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely wrong. Stonebleed says, do you want someone to give his beaniness a shout out at the Idaho GOP convention in late June?
That'd be
Yes.
awesome.
No.
Yes. Why
Yeah.
not?
Why not?
Follow Tim Pool.
Yeah.
Watch
Sure.
his new show. Well, not
Watch his new show.
Yeah,
Watch
man.
Tim Pool's great. Watch Adam's show. And
Yes.
Whoa, our show.
Our
Well,
show.
it's your show. Come on.
Communism. Indeed.
well, we're all doing it.
I'm just the co-host.
I'm looking for I'm excited for when this lockdown lifts. We can get a building. We can have.
I can go bowling.
I
How
can go
cool
out
would
to
it be
eat.
once we get like a big studio space? We could do, man. You know, this is I know a lot of big YouTubers who have a lot of money and make ridiculous money every month.
Okay.
And I'm like, why aren't you doing anything with it? Like, what do they do? They get lofts in New York and they keep doing the same thing. And I'm like, you know what, man?
Come on.
Where's the ambition?
Do
Yeah,
fun
a
stuff.
How are
loft,
you
a loft
going
in like downtown New York would be like $10,000 a month.
I know.
Yeah.
And I've seen the
For a small
know,
loft.
I know people who do it. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's
You
like
could
you're
be
making.
shooting
It's to
arrows
show
through your
off.
yard.
It's to show off to
Yeah.
everyone
Look,
else.
this is
Look
the-
at my cool spot.
This is the problem.
You want to go to the bar? It's downstairs.
There are a lot of people I know who do big channels, and it's like they buy a fancy car, and I'm like, no, dude, get a building, like start something, bring people involved, like change the world. I'm really serious about doing this big journalism award thing. I'm not
I
even
love
kidding.
it. I really love this idea.
Pulitzer wants to go full on SJW, like,
Yeah.
bro,
Pulitzer.
I'm gonna throw down some serious cash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do it.
I love it.
I'm
I
not
think
even
it's
playing the
I think it's
games.
great.
I'm gonna rival what they're doing.
It's
Do
great.
it.
You're going to reward honest, true journalism. That's cool. I like it.
I'm gonna keep things under wraps for the most part until I can actually say we've got things moving.
Yeah.
But once this lockdown is over, once we get a building and we can start, I really do. Like, I'm talking about this nonprofit fact-checking and news aggregator. where
Every
we-
single time you mention it, people are like, "Whoa, I like that."
Right.
Yeah,
I
it's
like that idea.
fantastic. I love that idea.
The goal is basically, like, I have a lot of ideas we want to do for. We got, but there's ideas are different from execution. So
Okay.
first we need a space, then I got to find the people, but then one of the first things I'm gonna do once we're up and running, once we have stories, once we're right, these things are being written and
Mm-hmm.
we're fact checking. We're going to be very respectful at our fact checks. We're just going to say this is wrong for this and this reason. We're going to do a rating system. These are all part of this big thing I'm planning. And we're going to do awards. And we're going to dump legit cash. I'm talking
like it.
6 figures.
oh,
Awesome.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So
That's
good
gonna be really
journalists, we're going to be like, Pulitzer Award? Psh,
whatever.
who cares?
Yeah.
Here's hard cash to a legit journalist doing something legit so that you can go out and do it better.
Awesome.
Yeah, I getting away from these venture capitalist funded things where they have a certain, you're like, here's the news, how the news has to be. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see though, because like awards, everybody's doing it. Everybody's got an award.
Everybody.
But I've got ambition. That's why I'm like, I watch these big YouTubers because I know these people, and I'm like, you're just they put it in their bank, and I'm
Ooh,
like, that's
come
fine.
on.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, nothing
But
wrong with that.
It offends my ambitious sensibilities. Because if it were me, I'd be like, here's the plot of land we're buying in upstate New York. We're going to put a gigantic 40,000 square foot, room. We're going to have, you know what I want to do, man?
East Coast Barracks.
I want a flying motorcycle. I want.
It
have you seen
exists.
I know.
It exists,
Yep.
but it's
Yeah.
Iron Man suit.
Iron Man suit sounds cool.
Where's the crazy, cool, fun?
You gotta shoot
just
arrows.
All on shenanigans.
I want to be able to shoot arrows too.
That's my main goal.
I want to be able to have a jetpack where you're jetpacking around and shooting arrows.
I just want the skate warehouse. That
Think
sounds
about-
really good.
Think about the directed energy weapons we could experiment with
Oh,
and like
man.
do crazy stuff with. Make a YouTube channel
Okay.
where we just like have like a microwave gun and watch like something explode. All
Sounds
these
pretty
cool
good.
Things.
Sounds
Yep.
fun.
Yep.
I
Let's
like
do
it.
it.
Someone
Somebody-
just said the Harumph Awards. That's pretty
Yes,
funny.
I love
That's
it.
pretty good. It's
I don't
fun.
know. It's one of the Foolitzer. All right, let's keep reading super chats.
Yeah.
Distracted.
Itch That Mitch says, do you think the totalitarian regime being set up by the SJW and cancel culture will bring the rise socialist fascism? Also love the show here in the UK. I'm not sure because Americans are really arrogant. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, it's like I always imagine this image of like a poor working class guy and then like a big fat cat with his tuxedo and his monocle walks by and he's like, look at this disgusting man. And he goes, F you. I can tell you whatever I want. And I'm like, that's America, man.
Yep.
Like, the rich guy can come in and they can give him the finger. I love it.
Yep, for better or worse.
Not like the UK where they have lords actually dictating law or whatever. That's weird.
That is a little weird.
Mumbling Bearded Freak says, I could not recommend a book by Thomas Sowell, but you should check his ideas out.
Okay.
STFU says, Biden farted 7 years ago during a VP debate versus Ryan. Did he really?
What? I have to look that up.
Yeah. T4 says, have her read the super chats at specific intervals and batches. Learn to delegate to increase the value of everyone's time. Stop micromanagement. Michelle Mybell says, how can Jack have that Karens be head of site integrity? I guess they don't care about anyone seeing the biases. What platform could Trump jump to? Minds.
Does Minds have a thing like Twitter, basically?
I mean, yeah, it's like Facebook. I guess you could make a post.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's a bunch of other platforms. I just want to be careful because I don't know what a lot of the other ones. I haven't kept up with them.
Okay.
So I know Minds is functioning. I know there's like Parlay. There's obviously Gab. Trump could go to any one of them and force the media to cover it, and people would use it.
That's a good
You
point.
can just do it. Jeremy Griffin says David Wood, tuber, who you should interview, makes research content about Islam and his channel and had his channel locked for reporting a statistic on religious violence. That would make a great story.
Spicy.
I'll look into it.
Spicy, yeah.
Joseph Henson says my Biff strong. New Normal says the fart falls out of him. Yeah, right. It's old man fart. Dan Farron says it sounded like those peaky Asian hornets. Ugh. Amanda says, with 3 sons under 10 and a husband who may as well be 12, all this fart talk is like a regular conversation at my house. I hope you
sorry.
enjoyed it.
I did.
Guy, thanks for the super chat. Evan Boymel says, hey, team TAL. All farting aside, if DNC is thinking about bringing in Hillary based on recent campaigns like Truth Over Facts, Team Trump would be ready, perhaps with canned ads against her or even rolling out anti-Hillary info midsummer. Keep it the good work. Fartgate 2020.
It
He
wouldn't
said
be
he wanted
surprised.
to run against her again.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did. He's
Yeah.
like, I wish it were as easy as running against Hillary.
The Gray Gamer says, did you look into feminist being a banned word in Super Chat? Also, I listened to your song, Will of the People. It was great. Also, you have to check out Predator and Prey by Griffin Pautu. It's so good. I haven't looked into it. I think that's just maybe something YouTube does. I don't know. Dip Dop Dupity says, the new gameplay looks awesome for The Last of Us Part 2. If you love brutality, this is for you. I don't know anything about the game. I know everyone's
I saw a couple clips of it. The graphics look amazing. But, man, I'm just not interested in that game at all.
yeah, I'm not.
I don't.
The first one told its story, and it like ended with like a serious ending.
Yeah, that's what you're
The
saying.
first
It's like-
one. Yeah, I mean, where do you go from there, I guess? I feel like it's kind of hollow and an attempt to just like, well, a sequel will make money.
Let's just shove it out there with the graphics. The graphics
It
are
looks cool.
beautiful.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Post-apocalyptic world.
I'm sure the game will be
Great.
fine.
Another one.
A lot of people are angry about social justice, I guess. I don't know.
It's
anything
being
about
banned in many different countries too.
it. Whoa, why? Because the main character is a lesbian?
Maybe. Yeah. Who knows?
Wow. That's
Yeah.
weird. Steven says, I would rather have a president with verbal diarrhea than one with literal diarrhea. Yep.
Yeah?
Caboose says, Warhammer 40k has better lore than Star Wars. Changed my mind. I can't. Star Wars is in the gutter. Sean Davis says, check Sharkgate on Twitter. Oh, I will.
No,
Is
I'm
it actually
scared.
happening?
Is that what's going on?
Oh,
you want to
man.
pull it up?
No, I believe him.
Unfortunately.
Amish says, Biden has officially jumped the shark. Alex says, 10,000 people wanted to hear Tim analyze a Joe Biden fart. I love you all.
Yes.
They did.
Doing the hard-hitting work.
That's funny.
Jason G says, is fanning a COVID-19 fart with eye contact assault?
Ooh.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Biological.
One says, Joe Biden's new slogan, I'm so connected to the American people that I'm not afraid to fart in front of them.
Oh, that's fair.
KV, thanks for becoming a member.
Thank you.
Death is Eternal says, can we modernize tar and feathering? Use molasses instead. Clara says, farting and sneezing at the same time is a duck quack at both ends. I used to teach mommy and me music classes, and once farted at the same time. I tried to make an elephant noise. No one heard it, but I couldn't stop laughing. You gotta own it.
Nice.
Floorbo Adjacent says, was the fart a Russian asset? It is.
It was.
It makes Joe
Yeah,
Biden look
it's
bad.
distracting.
CS, thanks for the super chat. Chet Chisholm says, Biden's being used as a cover for Clinton's farts.
Maybe.
Top Gundy, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Gundy says, the life slowly escaping Joe Biden. Aw. Chris Buck says, Vegan Jesus. I personally recommend the Broken Empire trilogy by Mark Lawrence. It is one of my favorite fantasy series. Also, what Brandon Sanderson book should I start with? I haven't read any of his.
Probably Mistborn. The Mistborn series is really good. And yeah, if you haven't read The Wheel of Time, that I would read that because that's incredible. I mean, it's Robert Jordan for most of the series, but then Brandon Sanderson does an incredible job of finishing it. But what is that? The Broken Empire? Is that the
Which
book?
one? The Broken Empire trilogy.
Cool, yeah.
By Mark Lawrence.
Sweet.
Comrade Patsy says, "Do you think Biden had to wipe after that fart?" Yes, I did.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Mikhail Volkov, GM, and shout out from good morning and shout out from Tokyo. Love your show and keep repping Tool. Spiral out. Appreciate it. John
I'll
Keck,
never stop.
thanks for the super chat. Nova Down South says, Dan Harmon show community. They have a grifter college class. They all get scammed into buying grifting suitcases, $150 each.
Oh, how funny.
Shun Ryujin says, if you move states, hire me to set up all your PCs. I don't do server stuff though, but I can sure try and learn. At my current workplace, stuff is spicier every day with people getting fired or leaving. Wow.
Ooh.
Zeinmart says, Clinton VP and Biden commits suicide day after winning the election. Or he just sunsets. Quiet guitarist fan. Would say you should come to Utah, but alcohol and weed laws suck here. And that's coming from an active Mormon. Also, what's your favorite book or character written by Brandon Sanderson?
Oh man, I don't know. I love all of. I really like his new series, the Stormbringer, Lightbringer. I can't think of it right now. It's been a while since I've read the third book, but the fourth one's coming out soon. It's really good. It's like the Knights Radiant. It's a really cool series. Yeah, I can't think of anything in particular, but everything he writes is gold. So,
Justin O'Toole says Biden is like the fake king in Attack on Titan, who is really old and just sits on the throne staring into space while those beneath him run everything.
Kaladin, that's the name. I couldn't think of it. That's the character in
cool.
the series I really like. That's my favorite character.
Shun says, I'm mostly kidding, by the way, but with a dash of seriousness. Haha. Love the work you guys do, and let's all unite to Sharkgate. Soy Jesus bless Biden with the power of odorless farts. Lids, do the memes.
Yes, I will.
Mr. George Matthew says, free Hong Kong. Clara Luthus says, hey, Tim, fellow Asian mixie, the, quote, but you're half white, and, quote, but you're only half Asian is so real when it comes to racist discussions. Oh, don't I know it. It's the point is like, if you agree with the SJWs, then they recognize you as a minority. If you disagree, but you're white.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. It's great. You can't win. Chuck Morris says, the next Trump commercial, just Joe farting for 30 seconds. Sounds about right. America. Escriva, thanks for the super chat. Perpetual Punster says, you talk about Joe Biden in a rocking chair and Hillary in the Oval Office. Do you really think that Bill Clinton was running the country for those 8 years and not in his own rocking chair? I agree. Joe Biden was rocking in his chair while Hillary was doing her thing. You know what I mean? Joseph Mastrangelo. After fart, quote, I'm Joe Biden and I endorse this message. Zuck says, hey guys, just wondering if you heard about how Twitter started a rumor saying that Trump murdered someone who didn't exist to begin with. I didn't hear about that.
No.
Crazy. No.
Noel Arcto says, Adam, when are you going to do the deep dive talks? 2 ideas for it. First, Rodney Mullen, naturally.
Oh, okay.
And second, Doctors Vivian Thomas and Alfred Blalock. The HBO movie Something the Lord Made is also a biopic about them.
Interesting. I like that Rodney Mullen idea, actually.
Yeah.
That's he is a really fantastic person and inspiring.
Yeah.
But I actually just started TimcastIRL yesterday.
Woo.
So I don't have any videos yet,
Ooh,
but
that's
I
exciting.
got the channel. I made the channel TimcastIRL, so that's coming soon.
Oh, I'm excited.
And that'll
Coming soon.
be
Deep dives.
Adamcast IRL. Deep
Yeah.
dives?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm brooding your name, stealing it. Yoink.
Do you think? Well, you already did when I went to
I know, it's true. I took over.
Vasht says, the marvel of this historic launch isn't just the spacecraft. It's those, what does it say, svelte spacesuits?
Svelte, yeah. Nice
Look
and
at the
slender.
Look at the previous
Yeah, they're
generation
cool.
suit used in the shuttle in comparison. You can actually move now. Yeah,
Yep,
seriously.
It's true.
Very cool.
Yeah, it doesn't last long in space, but it's pretty cool. They're pressure regulated.
Yeah.
And they've got oxygen. It's amazing.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
Big Ben Howard says, it got scrubbed because of excessive electrical charge in the atmosphere. Not a storm. Fact checked, destroyed, unsubscribed. Oof.
Oh,
Griffin
Okay.
Games says, very excited about the launch. Gonna get my popcorn and fuzzy blanket. Balian says, Adam, what is your opinion of Rudy's version of Stop, Talk, and Frisk? And was it as racist as Cuomo's Stop and Frisk?
Stop talking, Frisk. Oh, Rudy
It's-
Giuliani did this. Isn't that the
I don't
same
know.
thing?
Arguably the same thing.
They still targeted the same people.
And Bloomberg was overtly racist about it. He's
Right.
like on record saying it.
Yeah, I don't know much about Rudy's version of it, but I mean, I wish I could answer that because I don't really know what his version of it, but it sounds like it's the same exact thing.
I'll simplify it. You've got a bunch of people. You like Bloomberg says, well, that's the people who are doing it, and it's like
Right.
technically the truth. You need to get to the root of the problem, and if you don't, then it's just going to be left-wing racists and right-wing racists.
Yep.
And
Yep.
everyone's going to argue about
Yep.
which version of racism is better.
Exactly.
Instead of actually trying to figure out how to stop it.
Yeah, exactly. Someone Joseph, thank you for telling me. It's the Stormlight Chronicles. That's the book series by Brandon Sanderson that I couldn't think of, but absolutely an incredible story. Really, really awesome.
Matt Ellie says, hey, Tim and crew, keep up the good work. Appreciate it. K98 Killer says, 2016 lawsuit against Trump and Epstein was filed electronically by Thomas Francis Meagher, who died in 1867. Contact info was spoofed. It was a psyop. I found this myself reading court records. Really? I never heard that.
Random.
Connor O'Brien says, it looked like Tom Wolfe could taste it. That's from Biden farting,
no.
by the way. Laura Brown, thanks for the super chat.
Gross.
Blah says, for non-rocket space launches, check out the Lofstrom Loop. We can build it now, and it would only cost 3 cents per kilo to launch. Cool.
Interesting.
Sean, thanks for the super chat.
I wonder if it has to do with magnets, like a magnet system to launch
Cable-like
us.
system.
What is it?
Cables, yeah.
Oh,
Interesting.
interesting. Bestest Kitty. Use a railgun to speed up crafts into orbit. Use this to build an orbital ring, which we can use as a magnetic slingshot. And for low-grav industry, this would lower travel time to Mars by months.
Cool. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about what you just said before.
Kite the Twin Blade says, Tim, you are thinking of hydrogen bombs. It is very likely the case. I am not an expert on nuclear weapons.
Non-radioactive bombs.
Yeah.
H-bombs, okay.
makes sense.
Heavy Arms Guy says, if we could manipulate the Higgs boson mechanism to explain why particles have mass, we could potentially create anti-gravity. Just a potshot idea. Love the show. Appreciate it.
Cool.
Sean Williams says, nitrogen-17 is the isotope created when you irradiate water. It has a half-life of 7.5 seconds. I have
Okay.
training in this from the Navy. Cool.
So it wouldn't irradiate the water then.
Yeah.
Or it would for 7 seconds.
Yeah, it'd be very short.
Interesting. Sean911 says, the potential Biden-Hillary ticket is just a vote for Weekend at Biden's. He's already been appearing in sunglasses for online promotional videos. Did you see that?
No. Wait,
does-
are you serious?
A mask and sunglasses.
He went
And-
outside
Yeah.
for Memorial Day.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
He was
And-
outside.
And people were posting, who is that man in sunglasses?
They thought it was really weird.
They thought it wasn't him.
Ah.
Yeah. I think it's silly. I think it's, you know.
It's a little
He's
silly.
probably just, his eye was bloody again, probably.
Yeah.
Like, for real, to be honest.
He's just falling apart.
Well, you saw the debate where his eye, like, popped, right?
No.
Yeah, and his eye
Oh, man.
went blood, like, just filled with blood
What?
during the debate. Like, he's old, man.
Yep, he's getting
Feel
there.
bad. William
Well, he's
Strong.
having to use his brain, so...
Yep.
Yeah,
That-
no wonder it popped. Seriously.
William Strong says, new discoveries in the magnetic fields of Mars have recently been reported. That's
Oh,
cool.
very cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Joe Ganji, thanks for joining. Brandon Whitley says, any take on the assertion that the GA COVID numbers are fake and Kemp and company lied about them to encourage reopening? I see tons of assertions of this and no rebuttals. Don't know much about it, unfortunately.
Same.
Austin Laverty says, I take offense at Adam saying that we don't feel solar flares. As a ham radio operator, I definitely feel it when solar flares hit Earth and mess with the propagation. P.S. It takes 8 minutes for one to hit us.
Oh,
Wow, okay.
cool.
Yes, how dare you, Adam?
I mean, I'll say I'm not a
Personally
scientist
offended.
on it.
Oppressing
But,
ham radio
but we
operators.
feel them certainly a lot less than Mars feels them, though.
Or ham radio operators, apparently.
Yeah.
What the heck? Wow, that's cool.
Crepsy says, please number these to make them easier to watch in order. YouTube doesn't always notify. Keep up the good work, guys. There's a playlist, if you go to youtube.com/TimcastIRL, that has all of the episodes in reverse chronological order, or if you go on iTunes or Spotify, they are numbered.
Yeah.
Paul Barnes says, dinosaurs walked the Earth on opposite sides of our galaxy. It takes 230 million years to circle our galactic core. Whoa, is that for real? That's crazy.
Very cool.
Wow.
Adrian Drew podcast says moon was 80,000 miles away 4 billion years ago. Wow.
80,000.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
that if that's true, then it's significantly closer than what I read in that one comment.
Well,
because
that's billions of years
right
ago.
now, four billion.
billion.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, not millions. Yeah, cool. But still, that's awesome.
Yep.
So it's just been slowly drifting away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bye, Moon.
Michael McConkey said, thanks for the super chat. Tin Man says, prior LEO here. Everyone is assuming that the officers killed George Floyd. No autopsy yet. No official cause of death. They still needed to be fired, though. One thing that was brought up that in the new surveillance footage, as they're bringing him to the car, he starts to limp. And then when they get him to the car, he falls over. Some people thought he was already having some kind of heart attack
Yeah,
or episode.
maybe.
And that by the cops just ignoring him and kneeing on him,
That would be
it
manslaughter.
wasn't. Well, I guess the argument
That's what I
people
said
bring
yesterday.
up,
Manslaughter.
Negligent homicide.
it's not that the knee on the neck killed him. It's that he was dying and they just sat with the knee on his neck while he
Jeez,
died.
Pete, it's still
But
awful.
regardless, man, I
Oof.
like
Yeah.
in the video. Some people argued he was resisting because he's like falling over, and I'm like, I mean, at the very worst case, it's passive resistance. It doesn't warrant being like subdued in that way.
Right.
Like passive resistance is when you just go limp,
Yeah.
and then they throw you in the back of a car and walk away because you're not fighting them.
Mhm.
You know. Either way, man, this one's a powder keg because I'm seeing even conservatives are screeching about it.
Yep.
At least, you know, not so much as the left does, but it's what the most annoying thing about it was we did have some of this stuff pulled up, is how conservatives are being dragged right now by the left because the left doesn't know anything about what conservatives think.
Yeah.
So they're like, all these conservatives are happy, and it's like, no, they're not. They're tweeting about it. What are you talking about? It's like a bunch of them were posting like, this is insane. Why are the police doing this?
There's no exposure to that though.
Because they don't read it.
Yeah.
They just have a boogeyman in their brain of like the evil Trump supporter.
Trumpsters.
Yeah,
Yes, they're
Trumpsters.
called.
Trumpsters. Kite and Twin Blade says, Tim, the answer to the propulsion problem is a combination of the Alcubierre drive and the EM drive. I don't know what those are, but sounds cool.
I think the EM drive is that thing I was talking to you about.
Yeah, it fires at a plate.
Yeah, there's like,
Yeah.
well, it's like a cone, and it bounces into the cone and then bounces back, and just because of the reverse force of that,
Yeah.
drives it forward.
Wow.
I mean, it's not very fast,
Right.
but they
But
proved
in
that
space.
it did propel it forward a little tiny bit or something.
so I
Maybe
guess-
that's the M. Yeah, the M drive. Yeah.
The
think so.
theory then that I read was that in space it builds up speed over time, and
Right, that
it
makes sense.
can go extremely
What's
fast.
what's the other drive there?
Alcubierre.
Alcubierre drive. I've never heard of that one.
Probably pronouncing it wrong. Tin Man says correlation does not equal causation. Oh, never forget it. Let's see. F4K3 says, guys, the answer is simple. We need to take a page out of Warhammer 40K and build craft worlds.
Huh.
Really interesting concept if you're interested.
I don't know about it.
Me neither. We'll look it up. Nathan says, a ship with fusion tech that takes in hydrogen to make new elements so we never need a planet ever again. That'd be awesome. Replicators. Miso Trash says, if you accelerate at 1G, you can see all the universe in 56 years. Oh, wow. Alex Kairos says, looks like Adam didn't watch Interstellar. Did you?
I have seen it.
Yeah. We actually watched it recently.
What was that a reference
Yeah,
to? The
I don't
wave?
know. Maybe the time
maybe not.
conversation
Yeah,
about
maybe-
time
yeah.
dilation. That's what I was thinking of.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
No, we
though.
recently watched it. Maybe you weren't paying
Just
attention.
part of it.
We put it on the TV like...
No, I came in. It was I
Oh,
came
right,
in and
right.
he was already strumming on like the black
That's
hole
right, that's right.
strings
Yeah.
Yeah.
wherever he was.
See,
there.
Anti-Pattern says, higher the gravity, the slower the time. Because the higher gravity stretches the time interval. Ah.
Huh.
Philip Kagan says, our magnetosphere shields our atmosphere from being stripped by solar wind, flares, and coronal mass ejections. Without any similar shielding, any Martian atmosphere that we create will also go away. So we need to create an artificial magnetosphere, like
Yep.
gigantic force field generators.
Mm-hmm.
Anti-Pattern says, living at sea level, you age 3 to 4 nanoseconds slower than people in the mountains. That's cool.
Interesting.
What if we had gigantic, massive electromagnets just to shield small areas with limited atmosphere?
That might actually have to be
That'd be
the
cool.
case
That'd be
one
really
day.
cool.
Yeah. And then you'd have compasses, not based on north, but based on
Where you need to be to
base.
be okay.
You'd have like echo-based compass and alpha-based compass.
Oh yeah,
That'd be cool.
Interesting.
4 of 20 says, colonizing Mars is a played-out trope. It's now all about megastructures like rotating cylindrical habitats, space elevators, orbital rings, skyhooks. Yeah? Anti-Pattern says, colonize Venus, cannibalize Mercury, and starlift the sun into a red dwarf. Okay.
All right.
Faux
Those are
fi-
some grand schemes you got there.
Yeah. Faux Fire says, you would need a moon large enough to create tidal friction in the core. This will heat up the core and kickstart the mag dynamo effect, thus creating a new mag field to protect the new Mars atmosphere. Wow, the moon does that, huh?
We need the moon, I guess.
Yeah. Wolfalt De Leon says, a lot of the stuff that you end up sharing are things Q has put up on the board and told us to follow. It's how I found you. Have you looked? A lot this week. I haven't. I don't know anything about it, unfortunately. Jaroslav says, Tim, astronauts time dilation / Sergei Avdyev.
Okay.
Hey Momo says, have y'all seen Space Dandy and Cowboy Bebop? Some fun space concept in those.
Oh, we're
Cowboy
watching that today.
You
been
got me really interested in Cowboy Bebop because one of my favorite animes is Ninja Scroll. It's an older movie, but the art style, the music style, the
love the
vibe of
music.
it is
Yeah.
very gritty
Dude.
and
So
and
beautiful.
real. I like that a lot, and that Cowboy Bebop reminds me of it. So I
Cowboy
think,
Bebop is one of
think
the
I
best
wanna
shows
watch
ever
it.
made.
It's like
Really?
a work of
Yeah.
art.
yeah, I want to watch it, and it's in space. It's like right up my alley.
Yep.
Totally, I'm totally down.
Now the time is hilarious.
Futuristic.
because they're like one of the characters, Faye Valentine, was born in 1994.
Okay.
When she was 20 years old in 2014, she was traveling to space when an accident occurred and she got cryogenically frozen for 54 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's like, I wish in 2014 we were all like, she was wealthy, I guess, or whatever, Singaporean. Like, I wish we were.
Hey,
nowhere near there.
didn't Walt Disney freeze himself in like the 20s?
No, but she was going to space.
No, just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah, and so it's like one character, Jet Black is one of the original main characters.
Okay.
He's born on Ganymede in the 2030s.
Okay.
I do not believe we will have terraformed
I don't
and
think
colonized
so.
Ganymede in 10
No.
years.
No, that's
Seems unlikely.
Would be
It's not gonna
awesome,
happen.
though.
We have our eyes on it though.
Hey, man, look, maybe there's a major breakthrough, because you got to understand with the initial publication of the charged electromagnetic spectrum, like it was an explosion in development and technology.
Yeah.
Same thing with fossil fuels. Like overnight, boom, all this crazy technology started going nuts. We might discover something, like
True.
and then dimensional travel just becomes like a no-brainer.
Yeah, in The Expanse, they actually go back and go to the scientists that, like the rocket scientists that basically discovered the next evolution of engines, and that's why we were able to colonize the whole solar system. So
Yeah.
it's cool. It's coming.
Not in 10 years though. Terraforming would take a long time.
No, yeah, absolutely.
But
right.
Cowboy Bebop is epic.
Yeah.
I love that show. It's so good. They're doing a Netflix live action. They better not mess this up, because they could mess it up, and I will be so upset.
That
There
would
will be
suck.
there will be riots.
Tim will riot.
Oh yeah. No,
I
you're going to
won't.
give me protest.
I won't.
Ruin Cowboy Bebop.
That's why you're gonna go protest.
Dude, Cowboy Bebop is a work of art.
Yeah, that's the reason.
The jazz, the music, like
I
the
love the
scoring of
music.
like, and it's just,
You know what,
dude.
That's how I'll feel. I'll feel the same way if they mess up Wheel of Time,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because
Yep,
I heard
that's not my
rumors.
favorite
I heard
books.
rumors that
Oh,
they're
man.
gonna
It hurts.
make it. Better not mess
They were supposed to do a movie with Keanu Reeves, and it never happened.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. He was going to play Spike Spiegel, and it's a bummer.
Is that the main character?
One of them, yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, they would have been epic. So they're doing a live show. Apparently a few episodes are already in the bank. That's going to be on Netflix.
Cool.
I'm super excited for this.
Nice.
And I hope it lasts like 7 seasons, and I hope it's like Game of Thrones. It's space bounty hunters.
Sounds awesome.
I know.
Sounds awesome.
It's awesome. It is.
Very
All right,
cool.
let's read more. Donald McKenney says, O'Neill cylinders were theorized in the 1970s and have gravity on the edge of the cylinder and large enough to house hundreds of thousands of people. Putting them on Lagrange points would be effective. I can kind of understand what that is. The
No
Dread
idea.
Pirate Bob says, we are one asteroid, supervolcano, massive solar flare, nuclear war, climate disaster, Skynet, pandemic, etc. from extinction. Stellar expansion is our new manifest destiny. Hear, hear. Titan
Yeah.
Twin Blade says, the monolith guided our ascent, Tim. James Blank says, reply the fart, I didn't come quick enough for the first time ever. Yeah. Let's see, Matt Diff says, not only did Battlestar Galactica end on Earth, but they made a nod toward this mitochondrial Eve thing, implying humans on Earth are descendants of that Cylon hybrid kid. It was a magazine cover in last sequence. Oh, cool.
Interesting.
Guytron says, whatever you do, don't let Klingons orbit Uranus. Oh, yeah.
Good
John
advice.
Reel. You should watch Stargate SG-1. Humans were seated on many planets.
I actually just started watching that 2 days ago.
cool.
Is it good?
I loved the whole everything among the stars, but Stargate the movie was one of my favorite movies as a
I'm
kid.
gonna
When
go
that
watch it.
when that movie came out, I was like, this movie's epic. I've always loved the pyramids, and
Yeah.
it's really cool. I don't need to go into the whole thing, but the first episode is them realizing there's Stargates all
Yep.
over the place.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Where are we at? DC Pagan says, with the plasma sphere, cosmic radiation, interstellar medium, gas as hot as 10 million Kelvin, and asteroids, space travel is too dangerous. We'd be better off generating wormholes and seeding planets with stargates. There you go.
Traveling through dimensions.
Yeah. Sarah says, Ben Shapiro had Orson Scott Card on his Sunday special show last weekend. OSC would agree with Adam on making sure the next asteroid doesn't get us.
That is so cool. I have to watch that.
Yeah.
Who is he?
We got to
Orson
make sure
Scott
that doesn't
Card?
happen.
He wrote Ender's Game.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, dude.
Cool. That's awesome.
Vipirus says, I haven't watched the reboot fully, but in the original Battlestar Galactica series, they arrived at Earth in one of the final seasons, and the rest of the show was them trying to fit in on Earth.
Oh no, that was like the last episode in,
Yeah.
in the reboot.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Doge says, in KSP, I don't turn rocket under a certain height due to air resistance. This is the majority of my fuel cost. Using a vacuum hypertube to build up escape velocity and avoid dense atmosphere might work.
Interesting.
Oh, that's Kerbal Space Program, right?
If we could do that, that makes sense. Because when you drop a bowling ball and a feather in a tube, they fall together exactly the same.
Right. Yeah.
There's no air resistance.
Right.
And so get rid of air resistance and atmosphere, then we just whoop, fly right up. It's a good point.
Carl Schneider says, please. Oh, I won't. There we go. Chris says, sniffing my own gas is a guilty pleasure. Oh, really?
Ooh.
Well, you do you, man. Hey, freedom. Son Cormac says, I dedicate this 50 to Lydia and Adam. Want to go fast, travel alone. Want to go far, travel together.
Thank you.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
We'll
There
split
you
it
go.
after the show.
Yeah, that's
There
right.
you go. Little
Got
bit.
it.
Thank you.
Get some beers. Game Freak says, great job, but stop stealing my novel ideas. Okay.
We'll do that.
Jeremy says, recommend the James P. Hogan Giants books.
I don't know.
From Taladin 1337. Your segment about a starship dropping colonies of humans on habitable planets sounds a lot like Dead Orbit's mission statement from Destiny. To avoid extinction, spread humanity across the stars. Oh, yeah.
It's pretty cool. You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
J-Max says, my favorite theory is the South Park reality TV planet. It explains everything. I think the episode is called Cancelled. Yeah. Or we got canceled a long time ago, and now we're just left to our own devices. Sat says, for everyone making fun of Trump for creating Space Force, the Russians developed the MiG-31 that can fly to near space altitudes and carries missiles that can shoot down satellites. So Space Force not so crazy.
I didn't think it was crazy when he announced it. I was like, oh, great. Finally. That makes sense. We do need a Space Force.
Oh yeah, it made definite sense. Guytron says, spin the Earth. Gravity is oppressive. We can't. It's encased.
Oh, I can't spin it.
It's actually this internal solar panel configuration that makes it rotate. It's really
Yep.
cool.
I
There's a-
haven't
whoa,
picked it
check
up
this
and
out.
tried to spin it.
There's a protest in downtown LA. Crazy.
Oh, why?
That's from
It's not
USC
surprising.
Trojans.
Huh.
Action Man says Rage Against the Machine lyrics are feeling more and more relevant these days, especially if you, what is it? F you, I won't do what you tell me.
Yeah.
Yep. Right on. That's America, dude. The man with the Panama hat says, keep on keeping on, Space Cowboys. Tin Man says, a little behind, but my dad did presidential details a lot. Hillary apparently referred to her police protection detail as her trained little piggies. This was back when Bill was in office. Ugh.
Ooh. Nope. Don't like that.
What was that about Americans being arrogant?
Oh, yeah.
I don't
You
know.
you
That's
know it.
something else. That's entitlement.
Garrett
Yeah.
Pop says, I really enjoy when you guys cover space news as an occasional break from other news. If you're really into ideas for colonizing the solar system and beyond, check out Isaac Arthur's channel. Well, we definitely want to talk more about fun, exciting things. Like the original ideas for the show is not to be talking about constant political stuff.
Yeah, before we started the show, he was like, one rule. There's only one rule for the show.
Yeah.
We will not say Democrat or Republican. Well, we threw that out the window,
Well,
didn't
the
we?
lockdown happened. And then all of a sudden, the headline for every channel, there was no other news other than Trump and the Democrats arguing with each other.
That's true.
And so it was like, what's going on with the coronavirus?
Yep.
And Trump.
And the Democrats.
We talked about Sonic the
Yay.
Hedgehog.
Guys, we
Remember
were
I remember
almost
that.
gonna make
Yeah.
it through without even saying that word.
My favorite show, I think so far, was complaining about Harley Quinn, the Harley Quinn
Yeah.
movie.
It was
Gosh,
fun.
such fond memories.
Because we were so passionate about it.
We watched
Yeah.
the movie. It was awful.
and
we
I
laughed
feel
about
like
it.
we were doing a service to people out there.
Yeah, I feel like we saved.
Don't
people.
watch the movie.
Yeah.
Seriously, we're saving you.
Yeah.
All right, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Let's see. Heck Tech Design says Trump to sign executive order on social media on Thursday. I kind of roll my eyes at that. I don't know what he could do, but we'll see. There's like tax stuff, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Might
You think
have
it's
an
going to have something to
idea.
do with Twitter, maybe?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Twitter
because
shall not fact check me,
now
my
that
opinion.
Now that he's feeling the heat because the election's coming. Now they're like, oh, we better do something.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
maybe.
think?
Yeah. Brando Commando says breaking: Trump will sign an executive order against social media companies tomorrow. CNBC 1 hour ago. We'll
It
see,
is
dude.
social media stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Al Santiago says they're finally suppressing your video on my side. I usually get recommended on your videos first, but now I have to go to your channel. Harumph, I say. I agree.
Harumph.
Yep, that's what YouTube
Well,
does.
hey, thanks for coming up.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Electric Spirit says, guys, have you played Animal Crossing? Not me.
Nah.
No.
No.
Drunken History says, have some sweet, sweet Skrilla for that upcoming nut surgery. I think I'm okay.
I hope not.
It happens in skateboarding.
Yeah, it does.
But hey, telling the story apparently got me some cash. So
nice.
that's the
Worth
thing about
it.
skateboarding.
Worth it.
The thing about skateboarding is I'm like, I wish we filmed it.
Yeah, even the crazy falls are worth
that
posting.
would have been Oh man, I'd love to have that on video. What happened?
Yeah.
Because it would have just been it would have been a viral video.
I mean,
on-
we take turns doing runs. We could just film each other
I
when
think
we skate.
somebody sent us a bunch of gear. We should just bring it out and film.
Yeah,
some
you know
clips.
what? On that note, I just want to send
Holy
a
cow.
shout out. Should we say his name?
I don't think we should.
No,
Just
I'm
his
gonna
what's
send
his
him
first
a
name? What's his first name?
Ryan.
Brian?
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Hey, Ryan. Thank you so much for the camera gear you sent us.
Holy
It
cow.
is really awesome, really good stuff, and I'm loving the slide, the
We
camera
got a slide tripod.
Dude,
So
we're
now we can
excited.
get some cool like sliding shots.
Or going back
I
and
really-
forth in the mini ramp.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good
Wish we
point.
coulda gotten
really,
that fall.
really cool.
Only a couple times.
Thank you
but-
so much. We're gonna send you a T-shirt, and why not, right?
Good plan.
Harumph
Yeah,
I
Well,
say.
yeah,
Plan.
for sure.
Yeah.
Unless I already got one, but
Yeah.
we'll send more.
Doesn't matter. We're gonna send it to
Figure
you.
it out.
Yeah.
And a pair of Volcom modern straight.
Yeah, you're gonna include some
I bought a
pants?
bunch
Yeah.
of pants. They're supposed to be stretch jeans. They don't stretch.
They don't stretch.
All right, where are we at?
That's
Where are we at?
funny.
Disturbed says, "What do you think the likelihood of a civil war is within the next decade?" Very, very high.
I don't know.
There was an article from The Atlantic where they interviewed a bunch of national security experts who put the estimate between like 35 and 90%, with the average being like what 60% or something.
That sounds right.
That's
yeah.
the experts saying
National-
30 to 90%.
That's a
Doesn't
pretty wide
sound like
range.
yeah, that doesn't sound like a guess. That's like, you know what? I could probably guess too. I'm not an expert, but it's between 0 and 100 though.
Yeah, but
I'll tell you that.
if the lowest
Pretty confident.
if the lowest anyone said was 30%,
Huh?
that's a 1 in 3 that there's going to be a civil war in the United States.
Okay.
So they asked.
Actually, it would be 33%.
You get the point.
Yeah.
All right. Bullseye, thanks for joining. Fluffy, thanks for the super chat.
Thank you.
Astralis Lupa says, wanted to let you know that you can get one braces with stitched reinforced sides that would work well. I coach MMA and use them whenever I train with a knee injury. Cool.
Oh, interesting.
Balian says, bro, buy a nice mansion with acreage and just build a new building to your spec. That's what we're looking at. And so the challenge then is to get enough space for a good price so that we want to be able to be noisy and be loud and work. We also want to be secure,
And skate.
be close to an airport, have good internet. These are all the things we're looking at.
Yep.
Porkin says, sent Lydia a story, Pew Research BS tweet. Yeah.
Oh
saw
yeah, I
that.
tweeted about that.
Fire
Yes.
Damon says, hey Tim, Lydia, and Soy Jesus. If you want a good book about the effect of time dilation on wars and the soldiers, check out The Forever Wars. Will do.
Cool.
Michael Hickson says, for cold sleep sci-fi story, read Coyote Trilogy.
All right, let me write this one down, and then I'll write the next one down. Okay, cool.
The
Got it.
Cobra Viper says, farts don't care about your feelings.
Oh my gosh.
Don't you know it?
Thanks, Ben.
Duck He says, hey, I have
That's
family
funny.
in India, and it seems like shots are being traded between Indian and Chinese soldiers on the border. Hope that CCP doesn't think that war will save them.
Oh man.
Rick K says, did you ever play Overpower, Marvel card game?
Never played it.
I remember it, but I didn't play it. Yeah, it was a long
We're
time ago.
Magic players.
Forgotten Value says, blue is not the most powerful, just run discard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
It's
I
even
don't know.
in Commander though. Discard. You know, it's there's not a lot of good. Everyone discards stuff. It's more you are the person I'm gonna pick, and that's just hate. So I mean,
And the other problem is I'll counter it.
that's
It's
a
like
good
if
point.
your deck is built around it, then
It's
I
like,
just counter what
Oh,
you-
you're playing that discard deck? Okay. I will always hold up a counterspell.
And I got my counter spell and I got my Cyclonic Rift.
Or you could just discard the counterspell. What's the difference?
Oh, it depends on if they target the discard.
That's a good point.
If I'm holding Cyclonic Rift and they target my hand, I'll be like, I'll counter it.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, I'll discard again. I'll rift your dude.
Right.
Just use it.
Yeah.
but
that's
it's
a good
but
point.
discard does that is a good point though. Discard, can
now
absolutely.
black and blue counter discard.
Yep, with card draw. Yeah. Fluffy the Great says, Tim, I want to try to make a good 100% America skate decks called Abducted Inc. Out of greener wood, any tips? I have some ideas to build better bamboo decks, maybe mixing the wood.
Interesting.
I don't know. You know more about construction than I do.
Yeah, I worked at multiple skate companies. I used to actually paint the boards for Bustin' Boards in New York, and then I started writing for Arbor, and actually worked at Arbor, worked with the team to create some boards. So, I know about molds. I know about creating boards, but I don't know about sourcing the wood. That's another thing that I wasn't part of that process. So I think that would be pretty important. You'd have to source, American maple or something.
Bottom layer carbon fiber,
Okay.
bamboo, carbon fiber, bamboo.
Carbon fiber is really dirty though. It's
Dirty?
not. Yeah, it's not. It's a dirty process.
But it wouldn't last a lot longer. So it's a trade-off.
True. Yeah, it absolutely would.
The bottom layer less likely to kind of erode with tail swiping and stuff.
True.
If the board can last longer because bamboo lasts longer, then you make less boards.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't even know how you'd actually make carbon fiber. Steve RB240 says, new job. Have to watch stream at 9. If you so choose Syracuse, I'll bring you the best range in the area. Member 14 years. Also work at halal restaurant and will make you all awesome food, vegan options. Ooh, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, that does sound good.
Chris Clark, thanks for the super chat. Video Bros says, did you know it's illegal to fart in public after 6 p.m. in Florida? Because Florida. I farted hard at work once and it was a mistake. Guess what happened? I can't. Is that for real?
I hope he didn't get arrested.
Rando Commando says Trump will sign an executive order against tech censorship tomorrow. We'll see what that means.
Yep, we'll see.
I think we're all going to be disappointed. Sir Dialot. Trump's tweets about conspiracy theory stuff is actually smart. He has been saying there will be investigations on social media treating conservatives differently, and then he got them to do it in front of everyone. But Twitter just apologized for it. They didn't do anything. It was the tweet about mail-in ballots where they went after him. And that was messed up. Jonathan Strider says, what do you think of a government that only enforced objectively verifiable benefits to society, say murder being wrong, and leaving the still gray areas to smaller units? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know if that's...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that is a long thought process. Naya says, Tim, instead of a Mars mission or moon mission, how about we just build a solar-powered orbital elevator to allow us to send shuttles up easier? For sure. I heard that wouldn't work, though, for some reason. I don't know. I don't know enough, though. David Walker says, I like how the Google trend for COVID looks like the curve of infections. Ew. Saludos from Chile. That's interesting. Caesar says, Trump is signing an executive order tomorrow against social media. Pompeo declares the U.S. officially sides with Hong Kong against China. And L.A./Minnesota erupt in riots. So much for a slow news day. Isn't that crazy?
Man.
Yeah, it's been a crazy day.
Jonathan Strider says, what would you think of a government that only enforced objectively... Oh, is that pop up twice? Oh, you did. I think you came up twice. Aaron and David, thanks for joining.
Thank you both.
Chris Clark says, what if everyone was pragmatic in politics for the betterment of humanity? Life would be very boring. But better in a lot of ways. Wolfalt says, fact check. AOC Boobgate. Let's see. No.
Nope.
Alex Gonzalez says, where can I get more info about your new business venture? Well, my plans, there's nothing. It's like I'm just waiting because the lockdown jammed everything up. And I've been trying to do this in September. I was actually looking at a building. Sale fell through. Things are moving now. But you can check out scnr.com for the other business venture, which is operating and producing really awesome content. Check them out. Johansson, thanks for the super chat. Jay Privacy says, Adam, will you be setting up a BitChute backup channel for TimcastIRL as an insurance policy against YouTube censorship? Yes.
Yes. I mean, yes.
Because it's literally
I don't know. Yeah, I guess I should, right? Why not?
You
it's
log
just
in,
a backup.
You sign up, you click link, and you're done.
It just links, so when I post on YouTube, it
automatically posts on BitChute.
Yeah, why not?
Yep.
Sounds good.
And I've had a bunch of videos censored. They are on BitChute, and so people immediately can still watch it.
And they can compare it too. See, like, oh, it's still there.
I don't get any money, like, because the YouTube video's gone and the partner program, you're cut out, but at least the video exists.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Let's see. Let me make sure we don't get a jump here. And where are we at?
And it did jump on you, didn't it?
Well, no, I went down to make it jump.
Oh, okay. I see.
DMG says, if Hillary is VP and Biden dies, does that make Pelosi VP? Because her own daughter says she would stab you in the back as soon as look at you.
Her own daughter said that?
Yeah, she said
really?
she'd cut your head off before you knew it.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, that's what she said.
Why?
think-
what context did that? Would you say that about your
She's
mother?
a savage.
That might make Pelosi VP, right?
Oh. You think
Is that how it happens?
You think Pelosi's in on it?
I don't know. I don't know where Pelosi
That would be a
ends up.
nightmare scenario.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
Oh,
I didn't
where
know, dude. I was already afraid of Pelosi. Man,
She's really
Alright.
something.
her own daughter.
Yeah.
Shonda says, I'm drunk but
Yikes.
coherent, I swear.
Nice.
Random user of site says, the idea that we are ancient humans from space doesn't make sense when you take into account that we evolved from primitive life forms on Earth.
But it's fun to think about.
Yeah, it's just horsing around.
You're so literal, man.
I'm actually using it as a thought experiment to try and understand our roots as well as what would happen if we did colonize other planets.
Or
Jesus-
the primitive life forms were here, and when we got here, we were like,
Or
let's just introduce
other
our DNA
aliens-
into this line.
Yeah, genetically modified something that could exist on this planet because they couldn't survive in Earth's ecosystem.
Boom.
There it is. All right, where are we at? Jesus Perez says, the next evolution of fuel will be from the sun. Let's see. Jago says, you are naive. Netflix is going to SJW Cowboy Bebop.
No.
I know. I'm worried about it. That's why I'm saying they better not mess it up.
Yeah, that's what they're doing in my books.
Yep.
How does that make you a naive? I don't get it.
Track Media says, the one thing you can guarantee, especially in the SJW Nightmare, is that they will mess it up. Definitely.
Yep.
Non-Servium says, check out Caprica for more Battlestar goodness. Yes, but they only had like one season, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
David Marcella says, if you like Bebop, you should check out Outlaw Star. It's basically the original Bebop. It's old school like Ninja Scroll. Ooh.
Dope. All right. I like it.
Zero Duality says, Einhorn is Finkel, Finkel is Einhorn. And there is a card in Hearthstone and a character in Warcraft called Finkel Einhorn.
Really? That's funny.
Yeah.
That's good.
Johansson Sock says, Wheel of Time was epic, but ended with so many questions. Shame Robert Jordan died before he could complete it himself, but Sanderson did a good job.
Although he did write the ending himself.
Oh, because he wrote the ending before.
He wrote the ending probably long before and gave the ending to Brandon Sanderson and spent the last year of his life working with Brandon to finish it. So, I mean, it's funny that you'd say the ending left a bunch of questions, but Jordan wrote the ending. So
Word. Troy says, I remember coming across Cowboy Bebop almost 20 years ago. First episode I watched was episode 24. The song at the end by Steve Conti got me hooked. It's a great show, man. Aaron McIntyre says, well, some spoilers, like 10 seasons of Stargate SG-1 later, if we have a Space Force, don't we in theory have spaceships for the Space Force to crew? No, we have satellites and space weapons and technology hacking. They're ground crew. We got stuff in space.
for now.
Right.
For now.
Michelle Mybell says, just in. Cuomo granted immunity to nursing home executives after campaign donation. I heard something about that. I'll check it out. Big Red, thanks for becoming a member.
Thank you.
Reclaimer says, the Canadian courts just ruled that the Huawei VP can be extradited to the U.S. Wow. Wait, what? Canadian courts?
What?
Oh, because in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Thomas Ratcliffe says, every good discard commander deck needs a Keening Stone. What does that do? Do you know?
I don't. I think it's. I think it's a mill card. I don't think it's a discard.
It's like Millstone, right?
Yeah, it's like everybody, for each card that has been put in the graveyard, they mill that many times. I don't remember exactly what the Keening Stone is.
Where are we at? Austin says, it's all good, Adam. You're still great. Also, it's looking more likely that they'll cancel the 80-year Sturgis rally this year. I don't care. I'll go anyway, even if no events. Ride free, take risks. Fluffy the Great says,
Yep.
I looked at carbon fiber. It will be like $120 a deck. Is there a way to get a hold of you to talk and I can send you a prototype? Definitely. First, follow Adam Krigler on Twitter. And then
tweet at me. Sure.
The other thing is, if you go to timcast.com/donate, there's a P.O. box where you can send whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, legally.
Yeah.
And also you can follow me at Timcast, and also smash the like button. And also you can follow at Sour Patch Lids, who is LYDS.
Yeah, but send us a board. We'll try it out. We'll make a video about it.
And Vapor Trails says, if they're going to fact check Trump, they need to do it to every politician. Otherwise, they have no defense. Completely agree.
Boom.
And they fact checked his opinion and sent people to the opinions of Chris Cillizza from CNN. It's the stupidest fake news ever. Darth Cynical said, Middle Tennessee area is a great place with lots of secluded property, still available, reasonably priced. Draw a 70-mile circle around Nashville, and good luck. Oh, look at it. Weather is important. Daniel Hawk says, weird fact of the day, Nancy Pelosi's daughter is a member of the... Oh, I'm not going to say that unless it's true, so we got to back that one up. Max Lank says, I wish you could go to Jesse Lee Pearson's show, please. Well, not really traveling now, and I may be too busy for any of this stuff moving forward, especially if we get a building and we're doing all these different shows.
Yep.
Grim Soul Banisher says, it's a DC guy here. Adam, I hate blue too, and the blue in my deck is occasional draw and fleet swallower. To dump half my deck, I refuse to use counters.
You fleet swallower yourself? That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
Skippy says, the anime Trigun has some great futuristic stuff in it too. Don't want to spoil it for you. Awesome anime. Trigun is also very awesome. Chuck Morris says, Space Force, service guarantees citizenship. Aha. Nanan says, fiberglass composite with laminated wood is almost as strong as carbon fiber and significantly cheaper. Cool.
That's true.
There you go.
Fiberglass
There's a way to do
easier.
it. All right.
It's not as strong. But
Well, we once again went over time, but it's okay. I guess.
We're getting pretty consistent.
Yeah.
It was a
Consistently
2
over
hour
time.
show. Now it's a 2.5
Well,
hour show.
I didn't skip anybody this time.
Yeah,
Oh,
good for
You
you.
read
wow.
every single super
we
chat.
made it. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I didn't want to.
Worth
I was
it.
like, we're gonna have to go extra.
We got it.
So
That's
that
great.
being said, we are getting ready to go night night.
Yep.
That means you got to smash the like button,
Night.
subscribe, hit the
Time
like.
to go night
That's
night,
what I do.
everyone.
Night. It's
Come
night
on,
night,
Adam.
man. You know, we're gonna tuck the kitties in, give them little blankets.
Yeah.
I'm going to play
Have a-
PlayStation.
Oh.
Warm glass
Okay.
of milk. I got to be up at 7 a.m. So
Not me.
follow at Adam Krigler. Send him stories. You do a posted tweet, right? Like,
I do it. So it's pinned on my page. There's a lot of stories right now. It's awesome. You guys are fantastic. Really appreciate all of your ideas. It's great.
Yep. And then you can follow me for listen to me complain on Twitter or watch me post silly things on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can follow at Sour Patch Lids for the spicy
Wait,
memes.
and my sticky button. There it is.
It's Sour Patch LYDS.
LYDS. My
We do
name's
the
Lydia.
show every Monday through Friday at 8 p.m.
Yes, this is
And
true.
We'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. So thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night.